you don't tune in, then you're wrong. Honey Closet know what's really going on. So tell me something good, tell me something good. You better turn up the volume in every hood. Which clubs really poppin'? Who clothesline rockin'? Which show should I be watching? Redbone pretty, let the world know. And if it's sweet like honey, that's my girl's show. Biggie Beats, turn the volume up. Chuck B, turn the volume up. J-Dub, turn the volume up. DJ, turn the volume up. Honey Claus. Honey's Claus. Honey's Claus. Honey's Claus. Honey, 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 honey's Claus. Honey, 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 honey's Claus. No one else to listen to, check her elegance. Sick of all them weak shows, here's the medicine. Kept their ass to the streets, true veterans. This is Mark's favorite damn show. I tried telling him it's about to go up, stairways. My girl Honey on the motherfucking airways. It's about to go up, stairways. My girl Honey on the motherfucking airways. Turn up, East Coast, turn up, Japan, turn up, Motherland, turn up, come on, Europe, turn up, South America, turn up, Australia, turn up, turn up.
Woo, 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 woo. Shout out to Mars and Dexter's Lab for that drop they did for us. That's still one of my favorite. We kind of used a couple of drops, but we went back to that one.
True.
We went back to that one. So
has some mix-ups.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite. So you are now tuned in to Honey's Closet live on the Power of Voices. Grab yourself a drink, sit back, relax, and then step inside and prepare to be entertained. We are back in the closet. What's up, poet?
Oh, another day under the sun.
Mr. Lee. Yeah. Biggie Beats is not here this week again. And shout out, though, to my crew. Shout out to the Joker, who is now, I don't know if you don't know, but the executive producer of Honey's Closet. And when I tell you, he be driving me nuts sometimes.
Oh, boy. You sure you want that?
You know what? His uncle today, we was going over the show, and he was like, why you talking like that, like you doing something? He said, I'm the executive producer of the show now. He said, put her on the phone. He said, I feel for you, baby. I said, just keep me lifted in prayer. Keep me lifted in prayer.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
He's the drill sergeant, right?
Yeah. But you know what? The thing about it is he really believes in the show. And, sometimes you have ideas, and I know you're working, Biggie Beats is busy, and sometimes I'm like, you can kind of get stuck. You need somebody else to come in, so I'll read what I have, and then he'll say, okay, do this or do that, or, and then he wants me to be hyped how I'm going to be for the show. And sometimes I'm like just turning over in bed, like waking up with one eye. But, for the most part, it's all good. It's all good.
No, it's great.
Take it easy, Joker. Take it easy.
Yeah, take it easy on me.
Yeah.
Before we get started going too deep into the show, tragedy happens daily. It's more painful when it happens in your own backyard, and we know when it rains, it pours. Here in the HC Closet, our hearts go out to the families of the victims in Charlottesville. I'm sorry, Virginia. Charlottesville, Virginia. There's a 32-year-old, Heather Heyer, was killed, along with the other gang of other people who were injured. Were murdered, yes. Along with
run down like a
couple of other people
rat
that were injured.
Yes.
By James Alex Fields Jr. at a rally that was going on there. And so we want to, I'm sure unless you've been living under a rock, you've heard about it. It's a senseless murder. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, Google it. I was going to put it up on Honey's Closet, but I just didn't want to have to go in there and keep seeing that. It's just really a horrific crime.
Depressing.
So yeah. And then there was also death in our family. I had a cousin, Taisha, that died, I don't know her exact age, but in her 30s. She died in Vegas. Right now I'm seeing misdiagnosed. Her heart stopped. She had a seizure and her heart stopped.
Oh my.
And then, of course, Biggie Beats is out today because one of his wife's cousins died last night. And then I have someone that's we've been knowing for years. She's like an aunt to us. She was just diagnosed with stage 4 lung and brain cancer. So at this time, on behalf of myself and the HC crew, I like to have a moment of silence for the victims, the families of the victims in Charlottesville, Virginia, as well as my family. So we can just do a moment of silence.
Before we have our moment of silence, I also want to mention Long Beach lost a very talented young man Saturday at 11:50 p.m. He was shot with gunshot wounds to the chest. He was leaving behind a 6-year-old daughter. He was very well known around Long Beach. So I want to also say rest in peace to the family of Johnny Hash and anyone close to him. So.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's, death is always hard to deal with, especially when it happens to someone close to you, especially someone so young. So definitely we want to keep everybody in our thoughts.
On a much lighter note.
How
you been? I ain't seen you in a minute.
I know. I've been good. How are you? Where have you? So I know you went to the Kendrick Lamar concert
concert.
How was that? Give us some feedback on that.
It was so amazing. There's this artist named Drum. I don't know if you heard the song on the radio, Broccoli.
No.
Oh, for me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he's an excellent singer live. I didn't think he could actually sing like perfectly live, but he's actually better than what he sounds in the studio, in my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We also saw Travis Scott. Travis Scott is very crazy, very hype, a lot of energy. He brought a eagle crane that had a searchlight on it, and he was jumping up and down in the singing middle of the air during his performance, like a whole 40 minutes performance.
Wow.
And Kendrick is just an overall amazing performer. He put together a very well put show. He had videos to go in for the dead points when he needed to take a pause, or he had transitions where he had martial artists and sword fighters coming on stage and doing their routines and things like that nature. So yeah, he's a very, very talented performer for sure.
Okay. So it was a good concert.
Yeah.
No problems. No.
These white boys stuck into our section and kind of scooted me and my girl over, but I mean, aside from that, it was
pretty
cool.
good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's always gonna be one person's gonna be crazy, but what can you do?
Right.
But that's good. I'm glad you had a good time.
No, definitely.
Yeah. Other than that, everything's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. We're gonna be having a guest call in tonight. Tony T. Shakur. She wrote a book, The Land of No Pity.
Camera's right there.
Oh, right here. Land of No Pity. Amazing book. She should be calling in somewhere close to around 8:30.
Okay.
So we will be interviewing her. And, of course, we have a few email back questions as well as some random thoughts. And Mr. Lee, any Uber stories?
No, because I have not driven Uber for a week.
Really?
Almost a week, yeah.
Taking some time off?
Well, yeah, yes and no. I'm kind of forced to take it from Uber, and I just haven't done any Lyft. Apparently, randomly, they do a background check on people. Now, I just started driving with both of them back in October. Mm-hmm. They do a state and federal background check on you, but then every so often they randomly pick drivers to do a background check. So it takes 7 to 10 days for that to come back again. So I'm in that holding period with Uber.
So
y'all need to get that straight.
So you can't drive because of that murder, huh?
Well, I don't know if it had anything to do with
Well,
the murder or not.
I mean, Uber's had a lot of crazy stories. People were doing drive-bys in Ubers at first.
They
were doing a whole
got
lot of
millions
crazy
of
stuff.
drivers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
honestly, I appreciate that because especially with this whole human trafficking that's been booming as an epidemic, I don't think these any crazy people need to be driving Lyft and Ubers.
But I think they could do a better job at why don't they tell you, hey, we're going to do a background check, every
Background
6
check.
months, every 9 months, every year, and let you know so you can plan. What if
Right.
I was really using this as a main source of income? I'd be hurting.
Right. 7
to 10 days, you could lose, $1,000 of your income. Depends on if you're full time or not. Some people make more, but it kind of bothers me a little bit that they didn't forewarn you.
Right.
Or more importantly, why don't you look at the track record of your drivers? Maybe those guys are always getting complaints about them. I got none. I got great praises. I've done almost 2,000 trips with Uber alone and another 600 or 700 with Lyft. I get high grades. I'm like a 4.92 out of 5. So
Okay.
While I know you're not a bad person, I have a very hard time believing you have no bad reviews.
none,
Really?
Zero.
Why would you have a hard time believing that?
Because I'm a sweetheart and I have bad reviews.
Okay.
Well- Well, you need to work on that, homie.
I beg
I wish
to
I
differ.
could get into my app and show you, but I get this message that says your account needs attention. Something in your account needs to be corrected, updated in order to continue to drive or go online. Contact tech support. And I've contacted them twice, once last week, and I talked to them again today. So that the guy that I talked to today reviewed my track record and everything. And he says, you're an outstanding driver. You get fantastic remarks, comments from your customers. He says, I'm going to write a special letter to the department that does these background checks and let them know, hey, we got a great driver here. So I don't know.
Right.
We'll see what happens.
Crazy.
But I think I might go out and do a little lifting tonight.
Okay. Well, that's cool
Yeah.
too. That'll work.
So I don't have any Uber Lyft stories for you.
Okay. Before I forget, I want to just kind of plug my foundation that I'm working on, Unite to Live with Autism. That's Unite, the number 2, livewithautism.com. It's geared to helping parents or families who are dealing with children, living with children
Yeah, like
with
Cameron
autism. Oh, that are living with children with autism.
Yes.
I have 29 years experience.
29 years?
Yeah,
Wow.
my son's 29 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I've been living with it for 29 years, and he's a blessing. He's my angel.
Yes,
and
indeed.
but there have been roller coaster rides, especially when he was younger. And so there's a lot of younger mothers right now out here, and so it's really good to kind of educate them on the things that they will be dealing with. I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean,
bet.
yeah, there are a lot of things that I feel they're not being discussed and taught, like them going through puberty. And believe it or not, the girls go through puberty worse, or can go, I should say, worse than the boys. So it gets a little bit crazy.
Right.
So, when did you know your child was affected by autism?
Well, when he was born and he got older, his frenula, the thing under your tongue, it's called a frenula, it was attached to the tip of his tongue. So I thought that was the reason why he wasn't talking. So he had to have surgery to get that clipped, and he got that done, and they sent him to speech therapy at a school. Well, they diagnosed him with autism and never told me. For like probably 6 or 7 months. And the way I found out is that I was a nurse, and I worked at a office called Molina Medical, and one of the ladies came in with her daughters, and her daughter was acting how Darius was acting. And my friend Lisa said, talked to the lady, and she came back and she said, her daughter's autistic. Have you ever had, and I immediately started crying because I knew that's what's wrong with Darius. I knew.
Oh, boy.
So I went to his school and was talking to him about testing him. They go, oh, yeah, he's been diagnosed already. He's in a speech class right now, and so that didn't go over good with my mom especially, and so he went to school, special school, and but he does good. Like the year before he graduated, he was the MC for the graduation class before him.
Excellent.
Yeah, so he did really well. It was really good. So he does good. He's he knows how to go in my wallet and get the credit card and go on Amazon when he wants to order something. So yeah,
he got it down.
Yeah. So if you're
God
out there
bless
and you're
him.
dealing with it and you need some help, please go to UniteToLiveWithAutism.com. That's Unite, the number 2, LiveWithAutism.com, and we are here to help you.
Excellent.
Here to help you. And let me just put this out here. Darius's doctor, which is a pediatrician, but he still sees Darius. He is the head of the autism clinic.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome doctor, and he's actually on board to help us with questions if people need. Yeah. So
excellent. Great resource.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would imagine that's can be devastating to parents when they find out the child is suffering from something like that.
Yeah.
There are other diseases and syndromes that they go through. So it's good that you have an organization that's an outreach to help the parents and the children.
Right.
That's great. God bless you.
Thank you. One of the things I really want to do is because children with autism don't get to go to proms and stuff like other kids. Like, you don't really see too many children. So I kind of want to get together their own prom. And just kids who all over. If you want to go, just their own prom and have the limos.
They're not welcome? Or
I don't think that they're not welcome. I just think that probably parents kind of feel like, it's scary to send your kids somewhere, and how many chaperones can you have? So if you know that your kids are going somewhere with parents who have dealt with children with autism, and we have a nice dance, and we have a DJ, and they get limo service and all that. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll take a lot, but I think it would be nice to get the children.
I think too, and you may be already doing this, but educating the kids so they know how to deal with someone that's affected by autism. Don't make jokes and put them down and bully them. I think that's important too.
Right.
To educate young people to receive people that are affected by it.
Right. Right. Yeah. So, I mean, especially siblings.
Yeah.
Siblings have to learn how to deal with it.
Of course.
My sons, again, have been living with it for pretty much forever. And so they know how to deal with him. When I'm tired, I'm done. Get your brother deal. They know how to deal with them. So, it's geared to help the whole family.
Do you have trouble talking about it? Have you gotten to the point where it's totally manageable?
Yeah, I don't have a problem talking about it. I have a problem still with people looking at him like what's that kind of makes me, what the hell are you looking at?
Yeah, see, that's the sensitivity that I was speaking of, around kids. Because, kids can be brutal.
Yeah, they can.
Really, because I remember growing up, little things. If a kid came to school and he had the same shirt on from the day before, stuff like that. Hey man, what are you poor? You don't have but one shirt. Stuff like that. It's ignorant.
Yeah.
Kids are horrible. I got bullied so I used to get bullied back in elementary, middle school, and I didn't tell my mom about it. I was kind of just I thought I was just gonna breeze over. My best friend's mom ended up telling my mom that they're bullying Blaine because he has fitted clothes. This is back when the whole baggy clothes era was happening. You know what I mean? Like I said, kids are already just messed up anyway. I didn't really care much about it, and I kind of knew the situation that me and my mom were in, so I didn't really bothering her for stuff like that. But she ended up having to whole different wardrobe or whatever, trying to fit in.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of kids that don't understand it, but I've been really lucky with Darius that a lot of the kids who he grew up with in the neighborhoods and stuff really took to him and protected him. Like the kids that grew up with him protected Darius. Like they could mess with him, but no one else was going to come in there and mess with Darius. So I've been really lucky that he didn't get bullied in our neighborhoods or anything. So yeah. And then Darius is a fighter though.
Well, they knew who his mama was.
Well, yeah, that too. They knew that the whole family was crazy, including Darius. Darius does not play. Darius will fight.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
can believe that.
yeah, he will fight.
Or is it Darius?
Darius, Derris,
Okay.
Darius.
Okay. What up, Darius?
Yeah. So yes, definitely. So real quickly. So my cousin Jersey Sweetie. Hey Jersey, she's tuning in. She's tuning in right now, listening. She hit me up today and was like, Google grapefruiting.
Grapefruiting?
Grapefruiting. Have you heard the term grapefruiting?
No.
I imagine it.
Is there anything like Netflix and chilling?
It has
It
something.
involves a grapefruit, doesn't it?
It has to do
In
with
a
the
microwave?
blowjob and a grapefruit. And apparently the ladies from Girls Trip talked about it in the movie. Yeah.
Gary, are you talking about some freaky deaky?
No, I don't think
Yeah.
I want to participate in the grapefruiting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read the
I'm just going to
definition.
tell you, just Google it.
Hold on.
I don't
For
even
those of
wanna
you
know.
who are interested, Google it. Grapefruiting.
Can I say it on air?
I
Sure you can.
well, yeah, if you want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean-
Grapefruiting a person.
Grapefruiting. I mean, I think you could only grapefruit a man, though. I think it's how it works.
I'll Pasadena on that one.
You gonna pass on that one?
Yeah, I don't think I want to get grapefruited.
Yeah, I don't know.
Just using my imagination, not knowing the full description of grapefruiting. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's what does it say, poet?
I'm trying to look for a good definition. This stuff is confusing me.
It's confusing you.
Yes.
Well,
It's like an actual article. Okay, what is this?
I don't. Yeah, it's kind of nasty.
There's a
but-
YouTube video about it. What?
Yeah,
Y'all crazy.
I mean, it tells you how to grapefruit and everything. So, just
Okay, it says, what is grapefruiting? Prepare yourselves for this. You put a grapefruit on your partner's penis and give him oral sex. Yes, this is real. Naturally, I burst out laughing. Cutting a hole into a grapefruit to help you give head.
I would think that would burn.
yeah, citrusy fruit.
Yeah. I mean, if you got you bite your jaw and eat a grapefruit or something with acid like that, it would be a sensation I don't think I would want to experience.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But it's out there.
I'll pass.
They're out there doing it, grapefruiting. So check that out. Maybe we can get into one random question before our caller calls in, and see how that goes. Are you still reading on
Y'all, because y'all some wild folks.
it? How are we wild folks?
Not y'all, but y'all.
I've never heard of that till today.
Y'all.
Who? Yeah,
Y'all
people out
some wild
there
folks.
are wild folks. I've never heard of
And
it.
who brought this to your attention?
My cousin Jersey Sweetie.
Jersey.
She wild too.
That's Sweetie. You
Actually,
about to
my
lose that
cousin
Sweetie.
told her about it, so she hit me up and was like, "Google this and mention it on the show tonight."
So all your folks wild. Got it.
Not me. I don't know nothing about it.
Sweetie, no.
Yeah.
Don't try
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Beast might be onto that sour theory he was talking about.
Oh, her being no. She
And she using grapefruit.
she didn't. I didn't say she used it. My cousin told her about it.
I'm just.
Yeah. I mean, she
I'm
may
not
have
extra
tried. She may go to the store and get some grapefruits tonight. I don't know. I have no idea what she's doing.
I think beyond the whipped cream, I think I'm done.
Yeah.
Cool
Well,
Whip.
I mean, people have freaky things.
Maybe
that they-
honey.
Look, well, honey's good with everything.
That sounds sticky.
But honey's good. Hey, you got a cold, they tell you to get some honey.
Yeah.
Stuff goes wrong, hey, get some honey. Honey's good for everything. Honey's good for everything. So
Honey is the cure.
honey's a cure. Sweet.
Sweet, sticky thing. You remember that?
Yeah.
The Ohio players? You don't know about that.
I don't know if I know about that, but
Yeah, it was a...
sounds kind of familiar. Sounds a little bit familiar, but yeah, get your little honey and put. They even got the honey jack. They got the alcohols now. They automatically putting honey in them. True, right?
True.
Ooh, I'm sorry. I have sort of a random question.
What's that?
So I saw this article on Facebook, and it was asking a scenario, and the scenario goes: you and 15 friends go out to a restaurant, and you order about $30 worth of food. A real simple meal, real easy meal, and then your other associates are ordering lobster, steak, surf and turf, champagne, like the works. At the end of the night, the bill comes down to $1,500. Would you A, pay for your bill and your tip and leave, or B, split the bill evenly with everybody?
How many people is it?
You and 15 others.
Oh, me and 15 others?
Yes.
And the bill is $1,500?
Yes.
I'll probably
And you
split it
$100
evenly.
a head.
You only ordered about $30 worth of stuff.
You got to have some rules up front. You got to have some understanding.
So
what
like-
if you only have $30?
I
I mean, you know what I mean?
I personally feel, well, because the actual article said $30 for a salad and water, and I'm thinking the salad and water shouldn't be $30 anyway. But
Yeah, it's a high-end joint.
yeah, I didn't know how to really embellish on that. But spending about $30 at a restaurant seems kind of realistic.
So if you only spend $30 and and it says on your bill that your bill is like $30, and
They want me to pitch another $70 for something I ain't eat. I ain't get a
yeah,
text,
I guess
sip,
you
drink.
probably would
I'd
just
have to-
want to pay your bill and then a nice tip. You really shouldn't go out to eat though if you can't afford to do a nice tip. But if you know that your budget to go somewhere, and you know the food's going to run you like $30, you should at least have $50 to spend on that meal.
Well, yeah, but
And
that's
a
still
$10 tip or something, $15,
but
depending on the
that's
place.
still, if they're expecting you to cough up $100, that's 50% more.
But should they
then
expect
what
you to
you
cough up $100 if your bill is only there? If your bill comes on, your bill is
Well, that's the
$32.90.
Mm-hmm.
Then okay, then I'm not paying no $100
Well,
unless I got it like that. And I'm like, okay, here's
Now-
$100 towards the
Nah,
bill.
even if
Now,
I
see,
got it,
here's the
y'all ain't
thing.
give my money
Here's
like
the
that.
thing, though. There's a certain etiquette in this. If Honey calls 14 of her friends and say, "Hey, come on out tonight. We're gonna have dinner and blah 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 at the joint of choice, Honey's choice," then it is expected that Honey is going to pick up the tab.
Shit, honey.
But I mean, that's the way it's supposed to go.
Yeah, proper
If you
etiquette.
invite someone out,
You have to be
Okay.
prepared to
that's right, and
Prepared
you
to-
pick the joint that you're going to go to.
entertain
Then
with them.
yeah, I'm not expecting to pay anything.
Well,
I
here's
might
how
offer-
how that invite will go. Hey, I'm going to the joint tonight.
If you want to come,
If you guys want to come,
Like
I
black folk
think
do.
dinner is anywhere between $30 to $50. You're welcome to come, hang out with me, whatever. That way, I'm telling you how much
Yeah.
it ranges,
Yeah,
$30
yeah,
to
yeah,
$50,
Right.
and whatever.
Well, then that's fair. You know up front.
Mm-hmm.
But that surprise, because I might be in between paychecks.
Here's what we're gonna do though. Waitress, whoever, server, whatever.
hey, look,
Can you give everybody their bill?
don't go to
and
Roscoe's.
they do that now. They do
don't
that now.
Roscoe's.
Oh, well, I got everybody has a calculator on their phone.
With 15 people, they'll do 15 checks.
Nah, they'll
Hey.
probably do like.
Yeah.
You know
3 or
what? You
4
ain't got to
maybe.
do 15, but you gonna give honey hers.
Hey, you know what? Also,
That's what you are gonna
large
do.
party dining etiquette calls for you bringing cash. People, you don't bring multiple cards. They don't like doing that stuff. You bring
Yeah, they don't like
cash.
do multiple cards if it's a lot of people.
You bring cash. It's easier. Make less headache for everybody. I really hate going to large parties and people be like, "Oh, my stuff was at the look."
Well,
Take your meal, round it up, add 10%, put your money in. That's it.
now, do
Okay.
you tip on the total or pre-tax?
I tip on the total. I think.
I do too.
Yeah, I think it's.
But a lot of people don't. And I've been told that you're not supposed to.
Oh, really?
Look,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say one other thing to the waitressing staff. The waiting staff, the food service staff. I hear for your plight of wanting to get fairly tips. However, personally, I'm not paying you more than I pay the government.
Well, here's the thing.
I'm not paying you more than I pay the church.
Here's the thing. I think you're supposed to double your tax. Is that still correct?
That's a rule. Yeah.
Right.
That
So-
generally works out.
Depends on where we go. Like,
That's
there's
20%. Nah,
you know what? But
Uncle Sam
that's
already
just
getting
them.
me.
No, you know what though? You really have to think about if you go somewhere and you have a really good server or some place that you frequent a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Then like we have a place that we go. We do like our honey closet parties at and whatever the Trocadero, Sunset Trocadero on Sunset. Check it out. It's the bomb place. And my girl Pam takes care of us. So when we go there, I always tip good. You know, when we go to Laurie's, we tip good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when places like that. Now, you go to Chili's, I might just double my tax. Unless they were really good and kept, you know.
Right.
Now, it was a stanky old server. They tip is a no.
I go above and beyond 20%. I don't ever do less than 15. But I'll go beyond 20% if the service was outstanding.
Right.
You know, I'm in the service business as well. I don't expect people to tip when I pick them up and drop them off doing Uber and Lyft. But it is a service that you're performing. And I think a lot of people think that Uber drivers are making a lot of money. They really don't.
And they
really
execute perfect customer service because they let complete strangers get in their car and touch their stuff and mess with their settings and put wear and tear on their car. And some of you guys have the audacity to start complaining about how these drivers have their cars. You're not in your own car. Stop talking.
Whatever.
That's it.
But
right
that's
there.
true. You know, most Uber drivers are using their personal cars. Some are renting or leasing.
And getting
they
robbed
have
on the
the
rates.
payment.
Robbed on the rates.
Yeah. And in Los Angeles, the Uber driver gets 67.5 cents per mile. They charge the customer 90 cents.
Wow.
Okay? Plus, you get 11 cents per minute for the trip. Uber charges 15 cents to the customer. So when you look at a 10-mile trip, depending on how many minutes it takes you to get there, and in L.A., a 10-mile trip can take an hour. You know, it just depends on the time of the day and the day of the week. So in reality, you may do an hour and don't make much more than $10.
Wow.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you only get one
That's
ding,
horrible.
one ding in an hour. You go around the corner and then it's dry.
Right.
From 8 to 9, it's dry after that.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It used to be rough. I had my app on for 4 hours one day.
You didn't get no calls?
This is when it was just really starting up before it started getting like as big as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Sat for 4 hours. Didn't have any calls. At that point, I said, you know what? I'm not waiting that long ever again. If it doesn't it doesn't ding for an hour, I'm done after that.
Were you stationary?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And
it depends on where you are.
I was by my house, and so I live like in like I wouldn't say like the super nice part of Long Beach, but it's in the center, so it's by hospital, major shopping markets, Lakewell Mall, the college, the VA hospital. So I'm around the epicenter of busyness around Long Beach, and like I said, I was sitting at my house 4 hours.
Now, how long ago was that?
That was when I first started back in 2015, like early 2015.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, they were about 2-3 years old then.
Yeah, it was becoming more known, but it wasn't as popular.
It's better now than what it was then. I don't think I've ever gone an hour.
Without a
No,
call?
I know I haven't. 20 minutes, maybe.
Okay.
And generally, I'm rolling.
But you're generally in like.
And you just drive around?
You start off in this area?
Yeah, I'll start out at the airport.
Okay.
And then wherever it takes me from that airport ride. Sometimes it's only over to Marina Del Rey. I'll turn around and come back to the airport at that point. Pick up another ride. It might take me downtown L.A. It might be Newport Beach. So if I go to somewhere like Newport or
Tustin,
yeah, right. I'm gonna hang for a while in that area, bounce around. You know, if it's not too late at night, I'll hang out in wherever that area is and pick up rides there, and then I head home.
East Pasadena.
Yeah, right. I've been to Pasadena.
Pasadena's a nice area though.
It is.
It's really nice.
I was impressed. They've got some
very
houses
nice.
up there make you go meow.
Yeah.
Hey, look, don't get Pasadena messed up. The ghettos are still ghetto.
I mean, they're downtown Pasadena.
It's
really nice
houses.
over
Oh,
there.
definitely. I love going
It's
by
really
there and
nice.
seeing that bridge.
I used to work in Pasadena,
I think
Kaiser.
it's off the 10. I can't think of exactly where it is. It is in old Pasadena though.
Man, they got some houses up there. I went, whoa, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't
They
know
really
Pasadena
do.
was rolling like
Yeah,
that.
they have some money
Yeah.
up there.
Parts of
It's
it
nice
is.
though, and it's really a nice little area to go hang out, do dinner and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna get into a random question real quick before our
Another random question for our
before our random question. We had one before it, but loyalty.
Loyalty.
Does it exist? Does
loyalty.
it still exist? Does it exist? Yes or no?
True loyalty, no, because people don't trust people like they used to. Like, I say this with the utmost love in my heart. I love both of you dearly, but to like say I outright fully like trust the both of you, it would be a major like leap of faith. Like I have no, I'm saying like complete faith. Like I would think like you would do no wrong by me. Type of loyalty. That's what people used to do, like kings and queens. Their knights used to be like blood loyal to them. They would die for them because they believed in what they were teaching them. I think like people have faith and trust in people to a sense where they can feel comfortable with them. But as far as true loyalty, undying loyalty, like I don't think that's really a true stigma anymore.
You know, that's kind of sad too, in a sense, because
And we see a lot of black culture as well. I want y'all to know that it's heavy in black culture.
the loyalty.
Yeah, I mean,
Lack of or?
lack of.
Okay. Well, I think loyalty is something that may not be automatic, but if I treat you with respect, I don't disappoint you, I don't hurt you in any way, I create opportunities for you, then that's how you build loyalty.
Right.
Right.
It's about trust. It's I think loyalty is probably even beyond trust. Once you establish trust, then you may become loyal to a person.
I agree.
Right.
You know, then that's your dog.
Right.
Your dog is going to stand by your side
Right.
and be loyal to you.
Regardless of what
And
it
nobody
is.
else can give your dog a command and take that dog away from you. So, loyalty is a very, very powerful mindset. I've heard 45 talk about loyalty.
He doesn't know the meaning of it.
No, he ain't loyal to nothing.
Nothing.
And nobody
Probably
but
not
himself. Well, he probably looks in the mirror sometimes and say, "Man, what's wrong with you?
I know he has to think
You
there's
one
something wrong
ugly
with him.
sucker. You know, you got jacked up hair. Your skin is getting all tore
Yeah.
up.
Things ain't right with him.
But I'm the Donald.
I'm the Donald.
Yeah. So he makes himself feel good by blowing smoke up his own nose.
Well, you know, this came to me. Somebody just emailed this to me, and I had to really think about it. And I'm gonna honestly say this with all honesty. If I'm a loyal person, sometimes I think I'm too loyal, because if you're a friend or relation, you know, friend, boyfriend, whatever it is, I'm loyal to you, which means I'm gonna ride the dirt with you. No police gonna come to my house and say, "Hey, have you seen so and so?" I don't know what you're talking about with a straight face. My loyalty goes deep. My loyalty meaning I've never been one, relationship wise, I've never been one to cheat. If I'm with someone, I'm with that one. I don't care how bad it may get. I don't cheat. I stand by their side, and I'm always going to do for you. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to be there, because I believe in relationships, it's about taking care of each other. You know,
Right.
when you down and I'm here, I'm going to bring you up. If you down and I don't have nothing, I'm going to come down with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to let you ever roll by yourself.
See, that would be loyalty.
That's me. So if you all you got right now is beans and rice, and I really can't add to that, then I'm gonna come and eat beans and rice with you. I'm not gonna go to Mr. Lee house and eat caviar. Right? I'm staying here I'm being loyal
I'm gonna
right
be
here.
with you because I like beans and rice.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But you know, beans and rice is cheap though. Really, if you think about it. You can
Well,
get you
it's
some
all right.
pack of beans and some rice and
It
make
works.
it happen. But
Yeah.
Beans and rice make a warm, full
that's
belly.
yeah, that's me. I'm gonna ride with you. So I'm not the kind of person. I get offended when people say I look like I'm high maintenance. I'm not. I prefer to be in flip flops and a t-shirt, and my hair raggedy on my head. You know, it's just unfortunate we live in a world where a lot of people don't accept you like that.
Right.
So you have to have this little look. You have to have a certain look. But for me, on a regular day, hair wild, wife beaters, some sweats, flip flops, and I'm rolling. That's me. That's my comfort zone. You know, but yeah,
And
loyalty.
that's okay.
Yeah, I don't. You know, so I am definitely a very loyal person, and I think that's what gets me hurt so much.
Is that other people don't match that? That they're not
Yeah, once you have been,
empathetic with your loyalty?
yeah.
Because I'm gonna ride with you. I'm gonna go down with you.
Yeah. See, once you put yourself in that position of being loyal to someone or an idea, concept, or whatever, you also extend your emotions out there.
And your vulnerability, basically.
Yeah. Because when you don't feel that same type of loyalty in return, that can be crushing.
Yeah.
You know, that's when
Yeah.
your feelings get. So wait a minute, hold up. I'm there for you
Yeah.
always, 100.
100. No matter what, no matter
But,
what's
you
going
know,
on, I'm
yeah,
there. So
yeah.
you know, and I
And then
do
they
think
let
that,
you down. That's a heartbreak.
and it is a heartbreak.
And
It
most
is.
people feed off of that one incident, and then they want to go back to, like I said, fully trusting someone. ever
And that's
again.
where I think, I don't know if I'm boo boo the fool or if I'm just, because depending on who it is, I'm going to stay loyal. Even if you may come back and hurt me, if I choose, here's my thing, if I choose to stay your friend or your girl, whatever the situation may be, then I'm going to stay loyal to you. Now, that's where the carotid arteries come in and getting cut. Because if I'm loyal to you and you just like keep,
Yeah, if they
I'm
repeatedly
going to come for
disappoint
revenge.
you.
But I want to see your blood.
Yeah. Well, see, I get that. In my lifetime, I've been loyal to people, and then when they break that trust, that loyalty, I might forgive them the first time, depending on how they react to when I bring it to their attention. Now, if they, take that hard position and, well, hey man, ain't no big deal, whoop, whoop, whoop. Nah, I'm not gonna take that too good. I might cut you off at that point on that first time. But if I give you a pass and then you do it again, you might not get that third shot.
Yeah.
I might check out of the hotel at that point. I'm out.
Yeah. And I find that, and this is not, and I'm not speaking on loyalty just on relationships like boyfriend and girlfriend type.
Oh, it could be in
family,
business. Overall, like I said.
friends.
Yeah, it could be in business,
I've been stumped on by them all. And I find myself still coming back. They call, I need you to, all right, I got you. Because somebody I really love, family, friends,
Right.
boyfriend, whatever. And it's like, okay, when you think about it, it's like, you know what? I'm always here for this person.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get that same respect. Like, where do, so I have to learn where to draw the line. Like, but that's just who I am.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if somebody I don't care about or something, like whatever, I don't even go beyond that, It's like, you can't get nothing from me. I'm good. But so to answer this question, yes, loyalty still exists. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are practicing it. Or not a lot of people, I shouldn't say practicing it.
It's very
not a lot
scarce.
of people. It's very scarce.
Is that because people are selfish?
Yep. It's all about me.
Very self-centered.
Mm-hmm.
Self-entitled.
Narcissistic.
Self-entitled.
Just all about themselves, I'm not loyal to nothing but me.
I thought we weren't going to talk about Donald Trump tonight.
Yeah, that's Donald. That's Donald. But
Really?
yeah.
But yeah, that's the problem. I think in
I think social media
especially-
makes the problem worse too, because you're really then like pulled into like your own world at that point.
Right.
Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, you're tuned in to Honey's Closet on the Power of Voices. You can now also go to honeyscloset.com and there's a link on there. Just click the player and it goes right to the audio. And of course, if you want to see us and step inside the closet, grab you something to drink and go to facebook.com/Honey's Closet Crew. And can we get the number up?
424,
Just in case. But if you, if you out there and you want to call in, you want to talk about loyalty or anything we've been talking about, call us. Hit us up. 424-227
9461.
9461. I don't know who number Mr. Lee has up on the
know.
board right now, but
know.
please
That was-
don't call that number.
No, that was a temporary number
Please
that
don't.
we tried, and that didn't work out too well.
Yeah.
We change it now.
Yes.
224.
But 424
424
For those of y'all who
Who
got that
is he?
number,
Dang.
that's
424
Mr. Lee's bat
227
phone.
9461.
He calls that
9461.
phone his black book.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the pickup line. You
Yeah.
call that, you're going to get a date with Mr. Lee.
Yeah. Please don't. Please don't.
Don't call that number.
Ain't no ride
Yeah.
sharing that night.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Not at all.
But you're going to pick up the tab.
Yeah.
That's the rule.
That's the rule.
Telling you up front. I'll come
Okay.
pick you up, but you paying.
Right. And
Yo,
I don't know.
Wow.
So, have you seen the girl that says that Usher gave her the herpes?
Mm-hmm.
Please. Usher.
People are
Listen
saying that he
to
really
me.
slept with her.
Usher.
I should like him thick.
Usher. If you did, you're done.
I don't think he did though.
No. Come on.
Maybe he
man.
just got a
no.
grapefruit from her.
I do believe he likes his women thick. I just don't believe it was with her.
No, I don't believe nothing about
And him
that.
being from Atlanta, him having something, I don't also think that's far-fetched either.
I mean, but you know what? You can't put nothing past a man sometimes. They get drunk or something, want a little sucky and be like, okay.
You think drunk
Come
will
on.
drive a man to do that? Some people
I don't know.
get
It's
really-
some men that wake up in the morning and be like,
And
did
then
I really just do this?
Entertainer like Usher's got the pick of the litter. Now, how long ago this allegedly happened?
Some years, right? A while ago.
Maybe 15 years ago, she might have been
Maybe she was skinnier.
Bayaing, but what she looking like today, I don't think Usher would. No, come on.
Somebody hit. I'm sure she got.
Somebody might, and there's somebody for everybody. You know, but I'm just saying. I just,
Okay.
I don't know. I pass on that one.
So our caller says she's been trying to call. She's not getting the answer.
Well, I don't know why the phone hasn't been ringing, huh? 424-227-9461.
Yep. Try back if you're listening. We didn't get
Yeah.
any missed calls.
Let me check the phone line right
Yeah,
now.
so I don't know. Maybe Usher was.
I can't say this though. All Usher's old songs started becoming really, really funny after the fact. I couldn't listen to Let It Burn the same anymore.
Let it burn. You're burning. That ain't cool.
Line.
What else was
working.
funny? Confessions was crazy. People were making a whole bunch of clips like they're playing that beginning part of Usher's music video of Confessions,
Mm-hmm.
and saying like, oh, when Usher was talking to his doctor.
I don't know. So here. Hello, welcome to the closet. Who do we have on the line?
Hey, greetings. This is Tony T. Shakir.
I can't hear. I'm sorry.
Hello, this is Tony T. Shakir.
Hi, Tony. How are you doing? Thanks for calling in.
I'm good. Good to hear your voice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have Tony T. Shakir on. She wrote this amazing book called Land of No Pity. I am in the process of reading it. It is a must buy. I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to give anything away. But I do want to say something about the book, but I'm going to save it till after we interview you. But I love this book.
Well, thank you. It is definitely a must-read, if I do say so myself. I have put a lot of work and love into this book, so I know that it won't disappoint.
How long did it take you to write this book?
Well, the process happened over the course of a few years. The original manuscript took about 8 months, but just the development of it, the rewriting, editing, it took about 2 years.
Oh, okay. And so you actually, you have your own publishing company, so you publish this yourself, correct?
Yes, Shakir Publishing. You guys, you can check us out at www.shakirpublishing.com. Yes, the process was so tedious trying to get it published through the mainstream. So I just finally just got frustrated and just started researching on how to get it done myself, because I figured it's something that I knew, would just make a big impact and that the audience would love it, not just based on how I felt, but based on just the opinion that I got from just circulating it and just letting others read it and give me their input on it. And there were various people from all sorts of background and education level, and everyone just loved it and could relate to it. So I was just like, you know what, let me do this myself and get this out there.
Okay. So what I want you to do, Tony, is I want you to just kind of dive in there and tell us what motivated this book and give us a little bit of in-depth info on yourself.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me tell you about myself. It's really nothing to tell. I'm just a basic story. People might find my story fascinating. I just completed like a 15-year federal prison sentence about, 2014. And this is where really my writing process began, because through that time and sentence, I just learned a lot about myself and learned a lot about the stories that I've encountered and that I desire to tell. So I was originally sentenced to a 27-year sentence, prison sentence, but because of the changes to the guideline, I was able to get almost 10 years knocked off my sentence. The sentence was based on a nationally large, if I must say, conspiracy case involving my husband, my other half, and who I'd like to send a shout out to. I know he's probably not listening because he's probably not able to, but yes, I just want to just give him just Jamal Shakir, just give him all my love, and because he's a big part of all of this. He's most of this because it's him who introduced me to a lot of this urban setting, to where I was able to meet a lot of people to influence my opinions on just urban culture and South Central Los Angeles lifestyle, and just wanting to get a realistic view out there of what life in that urban setting is versus what the mainstream, thought about the urban life is and gang culture.
Right. So you grew up and lived in Los Angeles, California?
No, I'm originally from Jamaica. I was born in Jamaica, and I migrated to the United States at the age of 9.
Okay.
That's where I'm currently in exile right now. I like to call it exile because of my sentence. I was exiled back to my country. But yes, I was born in Jamaica and migrated to the U.S. And just through experiences and moving around, meeting Jamal, I ended up in Los Angeles. I grew up in the Bay Area, Northern California. Okay. And just meeting him and just my travels led me to Los Angeles. And I just got engulfed in the culture there and just the whole aspect of it. And I just, like I said before, I just felt, this was just like the ideal time to just bring realism to a lot of the stories that I encounter and just want the stories that need to be told.
Okay. There is so much in this book, and again, I don't want to give anything away, but I can only imagine that writing this book at some point, took you to some dark places.
Oh, yes, definitely. It's like you have to immerse yourself into just each aspect of it, because you want to, as far as my opinion as a writer, you want to be able to bring forth your story with truth. You just don't want to tell because then that's something else I want to touch on also, because, what's considered like the urban genre is so saturated with just so much that it's like oftentimes, the really good things that are out there, the few, it's like you get overlooked because of all the falseness and the glamorization of stories. And so I had to immerse myself into the story in order to, you depict it as realistically as possible.
Right. I'm just going to read a little bit of the synopsis on the back, and it says, Elijah Lil 9, is it Hassan?
Yes, that's the main character.
Yes, the main character, born into the gritty environs of South Central Los Angeles in the late 1970s, is ripe to be molded by the first generation of the Crip movement. Now, in the beginning of this book, there's a part, and I'm not going to go into detail, but there's a part where he finally is able to sit down and talk to his mother once he comes home from school, and there's some activities that took place, and that right there, that was, I read that part like probably 2 or 3 times, and it touched me. I mean, it literally brought me to tears.
Yes.
It's
yes, that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, that part right there, it just, I mean, so many of the young black youth go through situations like Elijah, but like I said earlier, mainstream society don't see them in that way. They have a picture painted of them as being monsters and super predators and, you know, the likes. But these youth, you know, they transition from lives of really toil and turmoil, you know, that create, you know, environments and issues and situations to where they don't have a choice but to evolve to the lifestyle that they eventually evolved to. And yes, that part was very, very, it was deep. It was deep, but it was like necessary, and that's why I took the story instead of just beginning, you know, at a say an adult age. I felt that it was necessary to start the story from the beginning to see the evolutionary process.
Yes, because it actually, for me, gave me a better sense of understanding where he came from and how he got to where he was at. Question. In the book, you mention a few gangs, mainly the Rolling 90s neighborhood Crips. Have you got any negative, any positive feedback from anybody from that gang?
Well, my husband, he's so-called affiliated with that area.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's like as far as anyone else, and you know, the feedback has just been, it's been just astronomical. The feedback has been good. Like, you know, this is, you know, this need to be told. You know, from those that are in those environments, they're like, wow, this is good. This is the truth. This is how it really is, and it needs to be told. So from that sector, yes, the feedback has been very positive.
We have some feedback from our live. Robert Brown says this book is the best book ever written from an urban perspective.
Yes. Well, thank you, Robert Brown, if you're listening.
Yeah, we wanted to take phone calls in, but our phones line have been down, and we finally got this one up. So unfortunately, we're not able to take any other calls in at this time. But that's why I did give out. I'm glad that people are going to our Facebook Live because they're able to kind of join in and ask questions and give feedback. So thank you, Robert, for tuning in. Yes, I agree. This book is definitely it's one of those books that you can actually read the whole book, and then especially if you're a reader, and then you decide I want to read something, you just go back and read it again.
Exactly.
It's definitely go ahead.
Yes, exactly, and that's, like I said, not just because it's my own. That's the way I feel about it, and that's the mindset I had when I was during the writing process. I wanted the reader to be able to go back to read it and then go back again and read it and just analyze it and see how it fit in their lifestyle and fit in who they are. I wanted the reader to be able to relate to the story. And I think in a lot of different aspects, a lot of people can relate to the story, especially those that are in the urban setting. It brings across so much truth to them. And I've gotten a lot of those feedbacks as well, that, I can relate to this. And, even for those that have not actually experienced, the hardship, it's like it gives them a sense of knowing, like, this is, wow, this is really give me a better view of it. It's not sensationalized like a lot and glamorized like other books like, that depicts gang culture. This is like a other side of it that gives you like the more emotional aspect of it.
Right. Yeah, it definitely it actually, being someone, I also grew up in that era during those same neighborhoods, pretty much close by, a little bit affiliated with them. It brings back memories. Like I remember certain things that is mentioned in this book that I can actually remember happening when I was growing up, going to school in South Central Los Angeles. So it's good that you brought this to light, because I don't think a lot of people really understand how it really was back then and what was really going on. I think people kind of glamorize it so much, and they think, oh, gang, and it's just this popular thing, and it's the way to go, and it's really way more to it. It's really more in depth, and it's not what it looks like.
Yes, these like I said before, so-called predators and monsters, these are actual people with feelings and, emotions. It's the same thing everyone else experiences. And oftentimes that's not shown. That when you see it on the news, it's just like it's just the ending part of it. There's no beginning to it. There's no like, well, what brought them to this point? What brought this on? There's none of that. And even like, with our case, because our case is also based a lot on it's a continual criminal enterprise case, which I mentioned before. My husband, he's like the so-called the kingpin of the case, and it's like just the way the whole system went about it. It was just like unbelievable. It was just a railroad case, just due to just the perception of the government and what they think, versus the actuality of what things are. And not only that, I feel that the characters are very colorful characters.
Yes.
It's like, it's not just one or two. I feel that each character have like something that someone can relate to. It shows, not all of them are from like the same beginning. Even though they're from the same environment, they all have different stories.
Right.
And I wanted to paint it in that way so that, the reader can go in there and read and kind of simulate themselves with, with someone that they can identify with. And I really, that was the outcome. So many, I thought that at first, well, everyone is going to like, everyone's going to love Little Nine, Elijah, and, but I have had some of the characters that I thought that, others wouldn't even be interested in. They're some of the favorite characters. So it's like, I think that everyone can like associate themselves or in some way or see something in each character that they feel that they can connect to.
Right. I'm not going to say my favorite character, but one of the characters I kind of related with because he reminds me of one of my uncles growing up in that era was Big Nine.
Okay.
Right? And he reminds me of my uncle because he was older than me, and he was from a very notorious gang in South Central Los Angeles. And I remember him there. He never showed grief. You never show weakness. You know, you no matter what goes on, you don't show weakness. And so I remember that, and as soon as I started reading the book, I related to that. Just reminded me of my uncle.
Yes, and Big Nine, that's exactly what he personifies. Just like he's just all focus, all energy, and he's, it's like even with a scene, like you said, from the prologue of the book, and he and Little Nine had a scene together, and that came across just so, to the average mind, they were probably like, well, wow, that was so cruel, but in actuality, he was preparing him for what was ahead.
Right. Now, every event that happens, like everything in this book, is everything something that actually really happened, or is any of it kind of just made up for the book?
Well, of course, it has to be a lot of realism to it. So they're actually, it's based on a lot of actual events.
Okay.
I will say that. The characters are based on, people, and but it's just they're also added stories to kind of make it move along and give more meat to it. But yes, there are things in,
I can tell. I absolutely know that. I'm gonna say 95% of this book is actually events that happen.
Yes,
definitely. I can relate to it. Are you working on anything else?
Well, yes, this is the first part of a planned series. Like I mentioned before, there are a lot of colorful characters, and there is the whole series can go in different direction with any amount of those characters. So this is the first of a planned series, and I'm already putting together the manuscript and everything for the second. So that's in the works.
Now, I'm not just saying this because I have you actually on the phone, but I am reading this book. Have you put any thought to turning this into something for the screen, whether it's the big screen or the TV screen? Because I can see this definitely being on the TV screen, a miniseries.
And it's a great thing that you say that, because that's also another feedback that I get constantly, that that the reader could actually see this on the screen, and we're moving towards that. We're in the process of just trying to get it to in every aspect of whatever we can do with it, and it's being looked at, and it's being looked at. And so if it's anything in my power to do it, it will definitely be on the screen, because I think it can even be a series. It's a possibility to even develop it into a series, but it's definitely going to go beyond the book form.
Well, I mean, I'm not trying to, audition over the air, but I'm available for some characters.
For sure.
I'm available.
For sure.
And I have a couple of other folks that I know that would be good for this. So I'm just throwing that hint out there, just a little bit.
And I definitely won't forget that. We'll definitely do our best to find something to utilize all that talent that you got, girl.
Now, are you with your publishing company, Shakur Publishing? Will you publish I'm sure you will publish other books from other people, and if so, what type of books are you looking for?
Well, yes, we will definitely be publishing books from other authors, and this is another reason behind the inspiration for creating Shakir Publishing, because we feel that there are so many talented authors out there that are being overlooked, and especially in the urban genre, because is so saturated with underdeveloped, underdeveloped work. And so it's like anything that comes in under that title is just immediately considered not good enough. So we're looking for authors that write quality stories like this, urban stories. No matter whatever demographic they may be from, because we know that there's urban society throughout the world. It may not be the same as South Central, but there's struggles in urban society throughout the world. So we're opening up for that, accepting those authors with good, talented, quality, high-level story compared to ours. And also focusing on those writers that are incarcerated, because being, experiencing that myself, I have met so many talented people. And there's so much talent out there, and oftentimes they don't have the access to get their work out. So that's something that I'm also deeply focused on, is getting them the platform that they need to publish their work, but not just any work, like I said before, quality
Right.
urban fiction.
Right. Well, what I
Yes.
want you to do before I let you go, I want you to take this time to just tell us where we can find you at. If someone is listening and they have a book they want to submit to you, give us all that information, all your social media information, and any shout outs that you want to give to anyone who was involved with this project.
Okay. Like I mentioned before, you can go to our website, www.shakirpublishing.com, and it has submission guidelines for anyone that's willing and that wants to actually submit their work, where the book is available for sale on all the online book outlets, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's in Kindle form as well, ebook. And the book can also be ordered from our website. There's a 10% discount with a promotional code that's there, so they can click on that and get the 10% off. It's easily accessible and it's readily available. It's a great book. You won't be disappointed at all to purchase it. So I do deeply encourage you to go out and purchase it. We're on Facebook, and I also encourage you to like our page, Shakir Publishing, and share our stuff, and get our following up. That's where in the beginning process of that. I'm really new to all the social media stuff, so I'm trying to get versed in that and build our social media. We're on also Instagram, Shakir Publishing as well. And so we're pretty readily available. I encourage you to get the book, and I would like to take this time to give a shout-out to all those that are listening, all those that have helped, along this way. My family and loved ones who've supported me. Wow, I'm just definitely blessed to have wonderful people in my life, but most of all, like I said earlier on in the show, my inspiration is my husband Jamal, and he's just like, oh my God, he's just so dynamic, and he's taught me so much just about life and just everything. And I want to say hello to all those that are listening, of giving their time to come in and check us out tonight. Thank you for your time. Also, look out for the next book. Give us your feedback. That's very important. We want your reviews once you've read the book, and so give us your feedback.
Awesome. Well, my feedback already is phenomenal. One word,
Right.
honestly, phenomenal. It's really, really a must read. We also will have the link on our website, honeyscloset.com, for your website and to buy the book. Because can they buy the book off your website?
Yes, they
Okay.
can, and when they purchase it from the website, they'll get a 10% discount.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, and it's on Amazon, like I mentioned before, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, It's readily available in whatever form except for audio right now. We haven't done the audio yet. It's readily available. And the website is, it gives you more information. It tells you about the characters. It gives you more of a synopsis of the book. It gives you my story more because I have more of an in-depth story. It tells you about me, and it just gives you just background on it. So I encourage you to visit the website. Follow us on social media and just get the word out about Land of No Pity. The words that come to my mind when I think about it is like dynamic, suspenseful, gritty. It's just definitely a must-read. It won't disappoint at all.
Absolutely. And I will also say the website is very, very helpful and does give a lot of information. Definitely. So I just want to thank you so much. This has been a long time waiting to get you onto the show, to tell your story. I appreciate it so much. And please, Tony, whenever you have anything that you want to talk about, network, anything that you want to do, please, you are a friend of the closet. Please call us, come in, whatever you can do. You're always welcome.
And I want to also take the time to thank you and your crew so much for giving us this opportunity and for giving us this platform to put our brand and our book out there. This is so much appreciated. You're fabulous. And I thank you for the lookout. And, this is really a blessing and an honor for me as well.
Thank you. And I will be looking for the next one.
I'm going to go buy your book as soon as I get paid.
Trust me, you will love it. It won't disappoint at all.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to call in. I know you're calling from a ways, and I appreciate you hanging in here with us. And I look forward to talking to you very soon.
And I thank you as well. And before I go, Sonia and Tehran, thank you guys for tuning in also. Little Jamal, thank you for tuning in also. And anyone else that's taking their time to listen, Dee, if you're listening, thank you for tuning in as well.
Well, I thank them for tuning in. I hope they become friends of the closet as well.
Yes, and I encourage you to like the closet and follow the closet.
Please, thank you. Well, thank you so much, Tony, and you have a good one, and I look forward to hearing from you soon.
Okay. You have a good one.
You too. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm not just saying this because she was on the phone. This book is a phenomenal read. We've had people on the show before promoting their books 10 times better.
Nice,
Oh, absolutely. Because the stories are just the way that she's telling the story, everything about the book. And I'm just going to show it again. Land of No Pity. It's an amazing, amazing book. And again, when you first start reading it, there's always something, some books you read and it's like, okay, I'm going to skip this chapter or whatever.
Right.
No, there's always something happening that's making you want to like, okay, every page.
Holds your attention. Huh?
Yes, it does. Amazing book. So, yeah, I keep the book in my bag, and when I'm, my son's driving Miss Daisy right now. I try to drive that much, and I'm in the car reading and, whatever.
Yeah.
Get up in the morning, drink my coffee, I'm reading, and so it's an amazing book. So I encourage everyone to get the book, definitely.
Let's buy the book.
Buy the book.
Buy the book.
Yes.
She has a crazy story.
Yeah amazing story. Yeah. Check her out, check her out. She's deep. She's an amazing person. I really never met her face to face, but I really just talking to her. She's so inspiring. So if you're just tuning in, you're tuning in to Honey's Closet on the Power of Voices. You can also catch us on honeyscloset.com. There's a little bar there. You can click on that and it goes right to the live airing. And if you want to check us out, step inside the closet on facebook.com/Honey's Closet Crew. I know you're going to like the book.
Yeah, I got to check it out.
Yeah.
I was doing my research while she was talking. I know it seemed like I wasn't involved, but I was doing
No, I know you were. I could tell what you were doing. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. It's a lot going on.
Hell of a story.
Yeah. So I think it's a little time for a Honey's Closet email bag question. What you think?
Email bag question.
Yeah.
What you got up in there?
Dear Honey's Closet crew, I've been with my girlfriend for 3 years and we have been engaged for 1.5 years. I keep asking her when will she set the date, but she refuses to talk about it. I am ready. I don't want to keep dating. I am ready to settle down and have a family. I'm starting to think she's having second thoughts. What should I do? Sign, ready to walk down the aisle.
Plan a Vegas trip, get her extremely drunk, invite some friends, have a quickie wedding.
Knock it out.
Don't do that. Don't trick her. Don't take her to Vegas.
She trick her. She already accepted the ring.
Yeah, but if she doesn't want to set a date,
They can redo the ceremony. Hey, look.
he needs to figure out why she doesn't want to set the date.
Women like men who are assertive. You got to take that
Not when it comes to our weddings. We like to plan our own weddings. Don't just take us down for a quickie little hee-haw up in Vegas.
What's the holdup?
That's what we.
How long have they been engaged?
They've been engaged for 1.5 years.
Yeah, and they haven't
Half the
set
time
a
you've been
date?
dating? Yeah, nah, dog.
No.
Yeah.
Bye.
Nah, dog.
See
Hit
ya.
the road, Jack.
That's right.
And
I'm
don't
out.
you come? Like, how long do you think a person? And this is more of a woman question, but how long do you think you should date a person before, and you know that you're serious, you want to be together before they pop the question?
I have another question. Why don't women who are more in love with their mates than their mates are with them pop the question before they do?
I don't think it's right for a woman to pop the question.
But if you are so in more, if you're
I can't deal with
so
you,
in
Poet.
love,
I can't deal with you.
I'm
Poet.
just saying, if love is
You ain't traditional. Traditional, the man pops the question. Because then it's like, what you rushing me for? Who said I'm ready to get married?
But you know what?
Biggie Beach just tuned
Same
in. Hey,
thing with
fam.
women.
What?
I said, hey, look, our email bag question, our listener apparently has the opposite problem where he wanted to get married like this, and now
Well,
here we're getting Heisman.
I think the woman should pop the question.
You think so?
Yes.
Yeah. You know why?
Why?
Let us know.
Because it doesn't matter what we want to do. It's up to you. If you say no, then what can we say?
No,
gotta roll with
tradition calls for the man to pop the question.
That's tradition, but
Logic,
the reality is
but
the
yeah,
woman
by
picks
logic,
the man.
Yeah, by logic, yeah, we're never in real control.
No.
Well, I don't know.
Because if you say no, we got to kick rocks.
Maybe they just said no, they're not ready to get married yet.
Well, that doesn't matter. If you
So
don't,
if a
I know
man
it's-
pops,
you say
so
no,
a man
it's
pops
no.
a question to a woman and she says no, is the relationship over?
Yes.
yes.
Oh, really?
Kick
That's
rocks.
that's like playing a video
See
game.
ya.
That's
I'm
like
out. Bye-bye. Next.
Bye.
It's like going bankrupt in Monopoly. Like you
That's right.
You put all your money out. That's
That's
it.
right.
You done.
I'm going to Vegas at that point.
Really?
I'm out.
Where
Wow.
do you go from there?
Like, no, but I still want to be with you though.
Because
No. I ain't got time. I'm ready to settle down. I want to get married.
Yeah,
But you know what
Goodbye.
I think that
Why should I
you
waste
guys,
more
I
time?
think that you both should be in the same on the
Nah.
same page. If he's ready to pop the question, you should be ready to say yes. Like you should
Well,
know
yeah.
this
That's
is
what I
going to
just said.
happen.
That's what I just said.
So if this is not going right and he pops the question and you be like, no, I'm not ready for that right
And
now.
see, that's where it goes back to what we were talking about loyalty before. I'm thinking you on the same page with me, and we not on the same page. Like you said, honestly, if I pop the question and I don't get a good response from it, I'm gonna feel a type of way.
That's right.
Well,
Unless if I say, okay, I love you from the bottom of my heart. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Will you accept? This guy with the MFs in the background.
that's
I'm trying to get romantic. He's throwing me off. But I'm down on bended knee, got ring in hand. You say,
At my most vulnerable,
yeah,
my trust is in
weakest
you right
moment.
now. My trust in you to say yes is in this moment.
And then you say, no, I'm not ready right now, but, let's go ahead and get engaged, and then we can talk about when we're going to do it. No.
I am boo-boo the fool.
Hell no. No, bye-bye. Next.
really.
Absolutely.
So how long do you think a couple should date before? Is there like
Well,
what's too long?
dating is one thing.
What's too long to date someone before you
So,
feel like
look,
they should
I
pop the
feel-
question?
Well, I think
I
that
feel
depends on
once-
how old you are.
I really feel like it depends on how well you know the person and if you're comfortable with who they are as a person. Because at that point, you're committing to their wrongs, their rights, their goods, their bads, uglies and beautifuls, all that. you're really saying, okay, I am okay 100% of dealing with whatever may come with your life and everything that involves your life, and being okay with that.
Right.
Do it now or forget about it.
Yeah. I don't think that there's actually a timeline on it.
But it really depends on how. Yeah, it really depends on like chemistry, how well you're getting to know someone, how quickly you're being able to be comfortable with them. If you're not fully comfortable with them, you're not gonna really want to jump into a relationship like, oh, it's been 2 years, but I'm not. Well, can you be with someone for 2 years and not be fully comfortable?
Be with somebody for how long?
2 years.
I think 2 years you should be
3
comfortable.
years?
I think you should be this is how I look at it.
I give you 2 weeks.
No, it just depends.
Get ready.
It depends on how serious you and the person are, because some people can get together and be comfortable with each other after a few months, right?
Right.
Some people can get together and it takes them longer than that to get kind of used to each other, because there's no way you're gonna know a person when you first meet. It takes time. People have been married 50 years and still getting to know each other. Because as we grow, we change.
Time together, then.
But as we grow, we grow. There's always change. If you are into your partner, you're going to learn your partner, right? You're going to be learning them. So she's doing this now, whatever. But it takes time to really get to know a person. But you have to put in the effort to get to know them.
I'll give you that.
You have to communication, talking, understanding. You're going to have some fall downs. You're going to have some whatever, but it's when you get back up and you jump back on that train and you're like still learning them and you're willing to learn them. It's like, we got this down pat. So I'm going to say within a year and sometimes shorter, but I'm going to say by a year, you should be comfortable. You should know by a year with dating someone, if you're serious, if you guys are serious about each other, if you want to be with that person. If you don't know by a year, and I'm not just saying it's going to take a year, it could be sooner than that, but at least by a year, you should know.
Why can't it take longer?
Well, I think it should be based on your maturity and the age of the two people involved.
Right.
At my age, I ain't giving you but a couple months.
That's all they getting linked.
That's it.
That's it.
Maybe.
Lisa, holla at your boy. If you ain't
That's
hollering,
right. That's right. I'm out.
I'm riding.
Next. What's your sister's name?
Sometimes I disagree with you, though, because it took me a full year before I fully got into my
And that's fine if you, because it may take you some time to get into it.
I feel like
to get into that person, but I'm saying if you're dating someone and after, okay, I'm feeling her, I'm feeling him, I want to be with her, I want to be with him, and because some people go into relationships saying, look, I'm looking for this, I'm not looking for hop, skip, and a jump. I'm looking to settle down and get married or be with someone or find my soulmate or whatever. So if you already go into the relationship and that person's like, that's what I'm looking for too, then it shouldn't take you as long to be comfortable. And I'm not going to say it's going to happen overnight. It takes time, but within a year, if in a year you're not vibing, then I'm not saying you have to be married in that year or they need to be proposing in that year. I'm saying within that year, you should be ready. You should be like, okay, I can be with this person.
Like the song is in the background. Got to be ready.
Who is this?
R. Kelly. This is the perfect song to play. Fellas, when you're ready to propose to your girlfriend, put the song on, get on that one knee. Or some Lenny Williams.
Y'all can role play. She can be Aaliyah, you be R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Don't go throwing Aaliyah in it now. Now you want to mess up the whole thing.
Yeah, man.
Leave it to the youngins to mess it up.
Nah, R. Kelly messed that one up.
Pissing on folks. Remember that movie, JoJo Dancer? When she came down and she said, I sell pussy, not pee. And white man wanted her to pee on him. She came running down. She was finna beat his tail. He was running down them steps with his pants. She said, I sell pussy, not pee. I just thought I would throw that up. Okay, so
probably easier business to sell pee. All you gotta do is drink water.
Yeah. Why would you want to sell
I'm
pee?
just saying, look, it would be an easier business.
To sell pee?
Yeah.
I think not. Who wants to sell pee? Why
The
would
man
you?
wanted to get pissed on, did he not?
I guess so. I don't know about that, child. That's kind of
Yeah, I put
I
that in
don't-
the same category as the
the grapefruit.
grapefruit. And,
Yeah, don't pee on me.
I'm looking for enjoyment, not
Yeah.
pain and agony and nasty.
And goony goo goo. Goony goo goo. Hey guys, the phone lines are available. Call us up. Step inside the closet, 424-227-9461. If you're watching us live on Honey's Closet on Facebook.com, Honey's Closet Crew, the number's up on the screen. It's on the screen. What? Why are you looking at me like
I
that?
need you to.
Oh, this because I'm so. You know why? Because I see me over here and I'm trying to see.
I know. You be like, oh look, I like how my hair look. It look.
No,
all
I
nice.
don't. I look really horrible tonight. I just threw in the two ponytails and
up.
I do. I need a makeover. I want a makeover. I think I need a new look for the rest of 2017 going into 18.
Just be you.
I'm gonna be me. I just want a new look. I get bored.
What kind of look do you want?
I don't know. I just want something different. I want to be sexy.
You don't think you're sexy now?
I think I'm an old
When you
mamma
say
jamma.
like describe what type of sexy you're going for.
I just want to,
If you could describe it with the like, I guess a
See-
celebrity. How?
I can't. I don't want to look like anybody else. I just want to have a look, and it's just for me. It's not. I'm not trying to. It's just for me.
Well, that's one of those things that you don't think that you look sexy, or do you feel sexy?
No,
Well, why not?
I'm not.
What is it? What is it?
I'm not.
Have you ever felt?
On the flyest thing
Sexy?
walking on this planet.
Yeah, I have before.
So what's changed?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm about to turn 50.
Maybe nothing has changed, and it's just a
Maybe it's psychological.
psychological thing that
I don't know.
you're tripping.
I just don't feel sexy anymore.
You tripping.
I don't. I just need to get my mojo back.
Well, maybe you never lost it.
Oh, I feel like I have, but
Yeah.
we'll
You
see.
need to go play Nelly, Hot in Her.
You know
Look
what
in the
I will
mirror.
say though, I went
No.
to the grocery store the other day,
Uh-huh.
and my son wanted me to pick up some margarita, and so I forgot it, and so I went back, and so the lady carded me, and
Get
so
outta here.
yeah,
Really?
she carded me, and
Didn't that
so,
make you feel good?
at first I was mad. So I'm like, she made me pick up my ID. But then it wasn't until she carded me and somebody else, the phone rung. So she picked up the phone, she answered the phone. And so she gave my ID back. I paid for the stuff. And she said, by the way, you look nowhere near the age on your ID. And I said, oh, thank you. And then I realized, oh, she carded me. Like, carding me is a good thing, right?
Yeah.
At first I was aggravated, though.
I will say, yeah. Also, to people who are in customer service, there's a certain way to ask for someone's ID. Not, oh, let me see your ID. Like, may I see your ID? Not, let me see your ID.
Well, I think
How you need to see my ID for?
I think at this point, however they ask you, it should be a compliment if you way over the age of ID asking. Give me your ID. Hey, this is whatever. I remember I was in a restaurant and this lady carded me. I was getting a mimosa and she carded me. And no, she didn't card me. She asked me, are you old enough? And I said, yes. I said, I'm almost ready for senior citizen, whatever. She was like, no, let me see your ID. And I gave her my ID. And she said, oh my God, you don't look, your age or whatever. And she gave me the senior discount. She goes, I don't know if this is insulting enough, but I'm going to give you the senior discount. I said, hey, it's cheaper than what the bill was going to be.
Right. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
That's a
She goes,
compliment.
but you don't look
That's a
your
compliment.
age. Yeah. And my sons hate that.
Well-
Hey, my sons hate that when people say something like your mom looks younger or something. Especially John, he gets a little bit
Because you know you
upset.
gotta be ready to fight.
Huh?
You gotta know you gotta be ready to fight.
They don't have to fight. You can't get mad when people say that. It's just a compliment. I mean, there was one time.
You got some fans who be wilding.
No, there was one time we were somewhere and at a birthday party and this guy came up and I can tell he was kind of looking at me a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made it a point to get the kids.
Right.
This is some years ago, and so he made a comment, and then I said my grandson, and he goes, "Wait, you're Chuck B's mom?" And I said, "Yeah," and he was like, "Oh, Chuck B, I wasn't trying to hit on your mom. I didn't know that was your mom, you know." And he was just like, "Mm-hmm," and I was like, I saw it coming a mile away. Like I knew my son be ready to, yeah. So, yeah.
Well,
Can't take you nowhere.
that's a compliment. It's funny because I remember the first time when I turned 21, I wanted to go to buy a bottle of beer, and I didn't really drink, but I wanted somebody to card me so I could prove that I was 21. Mm-hmm. And I went to a 7-Eleven. This was in Virginia, and the guy didn't card me. I bought a Colt 45.
Not
like
a Coke.
a quart, the bottle, big old fat boy. And he didn't ask me for my ID. I said, "Dude, you didn't ask me for my ID." He goes, "You look 21. Nobody has ever said to me that I look 21. I tried to get into bars. I tried to get in nightclubs. Never was able to get in.
And then he just go, I would have been like, "You better card me."
I was upset. So I took the bottle of beer and I gave it to some winos standing outside of the 7-Eleven.
I'll do you one better. One day I was trying to get into this club event, and the guy looks at my ID. He looks at me, looks back at my ID, looks back at me again. He said, "Man, why you take your older brother's ID?" I said, "Excuse me?" He's like, "Why you take your older brother's ID?" I'm like, "Man, you need to quit playing, give me my ID back." He was like, "That's not true. This dude's at least
Right?
like some odd years older than you." I was like, "Dog, that's like 2-3 years ago." I'm like, I'm older now than what I am then. He's like, "Next time you better not be coming up here with your older brother's ID." I was like, "You need to shut up and give me my ID back."
Right? Dang.
Oh, that's crazy.
Totally.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I've been down that road.
Also relate to your 21 story, because when I first went to a bar, I was expecting them to card me. Like, same thing. I was kind of looking forward to it. Like, okay, yeah, I can prove it. Yeah, that entire night, I got like 3 or 4 drinks, never carded once.
Never was carded?
That entire night, no. Oh, no, I've been carded since then, but
just not that.
Yeah,
just not that.
the actual night of my 21st birthday, I thought I was going to get carded everywhere I went, but nope.
Wow. Well, sometimes I think about it like, man, I didn't get carded. And then sometimes I'm like, okay, no big problem. I didn't get carded, whatever. But sometimes I do get offended. It feels good to get carded every once in a while. It does. It does. Let's have some fun real quick. I have this little fun trivia I like to play called Hit the Road, Jack. I'm going to give you 3 different things. And you have to say which one has to hit the road.
Okay.
Right? Which one you have to get rid of. Hit the road, Jack. Okay? So I'm going to start off pretty simple. Chicken, ribs, or fish?
Chicken.
Chicken has to go?
Yeah.
Chicken, ribs, fish.
Ribs.
Ribs.
Gotta go.
Ribs got to go.
I love them, but I can't do it.
It makes you sick?
No. I'm just trying to eat
better.
Yeah.
Okay. Sex, alcohol, or weed? That's pretty easy, but I don't know.
Alcohol.
Alcohol.
Alcohol has to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let me answer. For mine, I think probably ribs would have to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't smoke
Yeah,
weed.
yeah, you don't indulge.
I don't indulge, so yeah. That would have to be.
Well, if I had a choice, I'd knock out
both
the weed and the alcohol and double down on the sex.
Just double up.
Oh, triple up.
Give me
Yeah,
2
triple
extra
up.
doses of some
Triple
sex. Power, Empire, and Snowfall. Have you seen Snowfall?
I don't.
No, I have not.
Support those
None of those?
franchises.
Why?
I don't support cable companies.
Oh, okay.
I have not seen the Snowflake.
Snowfall.
Snowfall.
It's pretty.
Oh wait, that's about the black gentleman though, right? He's the main black character.
Yeah, mm-hmm.
No, I actually am going to try to catch that.
Okay. I'm saying
Empire though.
Empire have to go for me too.
I've
Mr. Lee.
seen bits and pieces of Power.
I've seen Power, I just saw it like last week. I didn't see the whole thing. Seems to be interesting.
Power's good.
Empire, I haven't seen in 2 years.
Me either.
So I don't even know where they are. Are they still on?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I watched the first full season of Empire and then the beginning of the second season, and so Empire would probably have to go for me.
I could lose them all.
Love, peace, hatred.
Hatred.
Love or hatred. That's easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer.
Hillary, Obama, or Trump. That's a no-brainer.
Trump.
Some people may say, Hillary.
Well, but
The crazy ones are going to say Obama.
Huh?
I said the crazy ones are going to say Obama.
Yeah. Denzel, Will, or Cuba Gooding.
Denzel,
Will Smith, or
or
Cuba
Cuba.
Good.
Cuba.
Yeah, Cuba, I'm sorry, man.
Yeah, he has to go.
And he's an amazing actor.
You know what?
I
He has
have
it,
high
but
regard for all three. That's a tough one.
No, but I honestly feel like while he is an amazing, outstanding actor, probably one of the best, he's not.
Cuba?
Yeah.
Not at all.
You don't like Cooper as an actor?
No, not really.
Really?
You need to go, or at least one of my.
I think he's better than Will Smith.
One of my personal favorites that he did was.
I mean, Will is cool. I don't think he's a great actor. He's a good actor.
Who will?
Yeah. And Denzel is like the best of all three.
Right.
But I would rank it Denzel, Cuba, then Will
Really.
Smith.
You know what? And
But I think all of them are really good.
this is probably my thing, and this is probably something just really corny and crazy of me, but I'm just not into these light-skinned actors. Like, I think that Terrence Howard is an amazing actor, but
You are crazy.
I can't watch him. I think I will say no one could play his role in Empire. Absolutely no one. And when he's given a role, he plays that role. But there's no movie that will come out and say, "Oh, Terrence Howard is playing," and I'm be like, "Oh my god, I gotta see it."
You know, it might be. It's actually in between Cuba and Will, because I saw how Cuba was playing OJ.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
No, I didn't.
And see, my all-time favorite actor
Hey, he's in Boys in the Hood.
is Robert De Niro.
De Niro.
De
Yeah,
Niro.
De Niro's he's good. Yeah,
De Niro.
no doubt.
Yeah. So, definitely. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out there and see, kind of give you guys a little bit of a little fun.
No, it's good.
Let's go into our second email back question. Dear Honey's Closet Crew, how do I tell my boyfriend that sex is painful? He thinks he is doing his thing. Signed, rough is enough.
Okay, so you can say this next part fully if you're black, and if you're not, you can just leave out the ending word. Stop, nigga.
Now, you can't just say stop,
If
Well,
it's painful,
here's the thing. We have to let's just get down. Let's just kind of dissect this a little bit. Why is it painful?
Well, I mean, it could be.
it could be a couple different things.
Yeah.
Is he too big?
Well, that could be one thing. It could be
Not enough
lubrication.
moisture,
Is she not moist? Does
or
she need
maybe
some
it
help in that?
just actually just hurts. for some
Or
reason.
are you not turned on? Because dry sex is painful sex. So if you're not being turned on and things are not happening,
Have you talked to your gyno recently?
and that's what we need to know. Hey, you want to tell
Have you
him,
got your ladies' parts checked out?
yeah. And how old are you? Because I hear that when you go through menopause, sometimes sex can be a little rough, can be painful.
Well, I think when you engage in sex with your partner,
Also, are you
It should
using the
be
poop
good.
shoot or not? Because that can also
Ah.
make sex painful.
it should be good for everybody involved.
Well, does he not know how to do it? Is he just?
Well, that could be.
That's why I'm the age. Like, is he just in there pumping? Because just some whatever. What's going on here? What's going on, honey?
Jumping like a rabbit.
Yeah, what's going on, honey? What's happening?
Yeah, that's a good question.
But for the most part, I don't know if you have tried to talk to him. I don't know.
I think you got to have a conversation.
You got to
So,
talk about it.
I can flash back when I was young. I was, maybe 20, 21.
Mm-hmm.
And I dated a lady that was a few years older than me. I think she might have been maybe 26, 27. And I had all that energy and fire and in the belly. And she tapped me on the butt. She said, "Slow down, buddy." I said, "Take it easy. It'll be better for you too."
Ooh.
And I went, "Oh." Because, I mean, most young guys think they got to go in there and kill it. So I think having that conversation and tell your partner what you enjoy or what you don't, what's hitting it, what's not.
Right.
Sometimes it ain't about the bang, 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 bang. Slow that bad boy down and, it might be much better.
I think it's very important that you talk to your mate about what you like and what you don't like.
Absolutely.
I think a lot of people are, I'm not going to say afraid, but I don't think they hold the full comfort to disclose that. And if you are in that position, you might need to also rethink about your choices about who you are consummating with.
Well, the thing about it is, the thing with sex, when you start being intimate with someone, sometimes it takes time to get into each other's rhythms because you don't know what this person likes and they don't know what you like, and but you have to be willing to want to learn.
Or maybe that's it. Maybe there's no intimacy. Maybe it's just sex.
Yeah. Well, there needs to be intimacy. There needs to be some, like I said, is he not turning you on? You have a problem down there. You're not getting moist. There's lubricants.
Hold on. You said there needs to be intimacy for sex?
I think there should be a little bit. I mean, there should be a little bit of sometimes. I mean, not everybody wants to get in the bed and just bang, bang, bang and go to sleep. And that's good
I'm not
sometimes.
saying that, but I'm just saying that
But
I don't
there
think
should be
it needs to be present to have sex.
Well, sometimes you just might want to have like one of those hot, passionate nights of sex, when it's just sweaty and you just scrubbing his back and making scars. That takes a little bit of intimacy, I think.
I'm just in the corner.
I'm just saying.
Did you see the hand movement?
Did you just say scars?
You got to put some scars sometimes. You know what I'm saying? When you just grab them and grab them to you or
that's
whatever.
Why she's confused about this pain question because she's like, but pain?
No. I mean, sex should not be painful. It should not be painful.
Well, that's true.
Sex should not be painful. It should be actually, it should be something that's enjoyed. Now, it should get rough, but it should get rough to where you like it. Like it's making you just like, whatever. Whatever you have to do. But, it should not be painful. So you should probably talk to him. And here's the thing. There's a way to talk to your mate. You can't just say, you hurt. Don't hurt a person's feelings. Somebody you care about, there should be a way that you can sit down and talk to your mate and say, hey, you know what? I like this and you don't do this and let's try this and make it to where you're suggesting, let's try this. Or maybe when you're doing this, I'm a little, that kind of hurts me a little bit. Can we try it this way? Or maybe change positions. I don't know.
I want to put a spin on this question. So let's say a person gets out of a relationship and they're used to having sex with their partner and they get a new partner, but they're not performing in bed well. Is it appropriate to refer to their past partners about how they want things done?
No.
What if that's all you know?
You don't have to say that partner. You don't go and say, well, my ex, when we used to have sex, he used to do this or she.
Well,
you don't
maybe
do
you
that.
need to go back to him.
Yeah, take your ass back
or
to him.
her.
You know what? It's not appropriate.
What if that's your preference? What if that's your preference, though?
The ex?
No, just what
they did.
Yeah.
Then you say, you know what? Done. Then you say, let's try this.
Yeah.
You don't have to bring the ex in it. It's so disrespectful to the mate to bring up the ex. Yep. Women don't do it. Do not do this. Bring up an ex to your men. Men do not want to hear about your ex-men, how he was hitting them walls. And fellas, don't bring up the ex to the girl. It's just, don't do that. There's a way that you can say, look, I like this. I like it when you do this. Teach the person how to do what you like. Right. Because 9 times out of 10, you probably taught the ex how to do it. Or something you guys, and then be willing to learn with your new mate. So this time, it's always going to be different. But yeah, if you got to keep bringing up, then you might dial them digits back. Get that related. You know what I'm saying? I just think that's disrespectful.
It is.
It's
That's
totally
understandable.
disrespectful.
Some things you just don't do.
You just don't do.
I mean, what's the
You
point?
have to respect your mate. And if you don't respect
Yeah.
your mate, you don't need him.
That's right. What's the point of bringing up someone else that you used to be with? I mean, what's the point?
Yeah.
I mean, I you know what? I'm at a point in my life where it wouldn't really bother me, but I would ask, well, what's the point of bringing that up?
Yeah.
I don't really give a doggone because look,
Them bringing up their ex, right?
whatever you experience with your ex is done. It's history. It's in the past.
Right.
And I would say to myself, look, okay, so that was the way y'all did it. Okay. Now, why are you with me? You know what I mean? So don't bring that into our relationship.
Right.
I don't want to hear about your ex. Not that I'm insecure about it, but what's the point?
Yeah. And it's like, okay, you thinking
know?
about the ex, go be with the ex.
Yeah.
I
Maybe
think it's
you're still
disrespectful.
tripping.
I would never, ever bring my ex up in a relationship. My
Okay.
ex is my ex for a reason.
Now,
Yeah,
I kind of want to flip
exactly.
this question. If your significant other asks about your past relationships, is that an appropriate topic as well?
It depends on what they're asking. I would not want to go. Here's my thing.
What if they ask about body count?
About
If they
what?
want to know how many mates you have,
people you've
I think some men want to know
slept with.
how many. If she got like 100 or something, you know, I think that's
And
appropriate.
y'all shouldn't. I want y'all to
But
know
what-
that you
why-
should never ask that question, because if you are, you're worrying about men. You're worrying about the wrong thing. But
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, Mr. Lee.
I think that if the number of relationships a person has been in the past will affect your relationship, then don't ask that question. And there's a double standard. A guy can be out with 50 women or 100 women, or was it Lou Alcindor? Who was it? Walt said he had 10,000 women. I think he lied. Wilt Chamberlain.
Yeah.
He lying dog. Ain't that much in the world. No, I
Right.
don't believe it. Didn't believe it then. Don't believe it now. You're a liar. 10,000? Come on, man. That's like, 300 a day.
Right. That's a lot of dang
No, come
coochie
on.
to be
Forget
dipping
about
in.
it. But so if you're laying in bed with your significant other and you just had some incredible sex and you're laying there in each other's arms and your significant other asks you a question, wow, you were really good. How many girlfriends have you had? And I said, well,
That's a crazy question.
I said, well, what relevance? But I can tell you this: I fell asleep one night counting, and I think I was up around 80 or 90. And then she goes off, right? What? You've been with that many women? So why ask that
Why
question if you're not ready to receive the answer?
And
A
I
lot of
think-
people
I do
ask questions
think
they don't. They really
They're
want
not
to
ready.
answer to.
I choose
yeah.
not to ask questions.
They
I'm
kind
not
of want
ready
you
to
to lie to
receive
them,
it.
honestly.
And if you're a man,
I don't really care how many a man's been with, because a man's probably been with a lot. I think a man cares. Most men
But-
care how many a woman been with.
yeah, that's
The
what I was
insecure
saying.
ones do.
It is a double standard because most guys, if you say, well, I've been with about 30, 40 guys, you're a hoe. You see? So,
That is a lot, though.
but don't ask that question. Don't ask. Because if
but-
you're insecure about that, then man, don't ask. You don't
Yeah.
need to know. If that's going to change the relationship, don't ask that question.
Don't ask. The
Is there a
question.
number that's not too much for women? Do you think?
I don't know.
Like, it's like what's the limit? Like
My
20
number,
like 20 below.
I just guess it depends on what do you think is too high?
Well, like I said, I really don't care about.
So if your girlfriend
women.
told you she'd been with 100 guys, you good with that?
I'm not going asking.
Long as you don't
If
have
she
no
tells me
disease,
that's a
everything's
whole-
good, I'm cool with it.
Well, okay, so look, the fact that she would just randomly just come out and tell me would probably trigger some warning signs in my head. Like, why did you just? Tell
Yeah,
me
I'd have had 102, baby. I'm down at 100. You're gonna be 103.
Plus,
I'd be like, no, I ain't.
plus all like odd numbers anyway.
Weber.
I know I ain't. I'm good, boo. I am so good.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
What would be a lot?
a lot is a lot. I don't
lot
know.
is a
I don't
lot.
know. I don't know.
I need Beats in here for this question. Yeah, I know you got a number.
Yeah, we don't want to ask Beats. We don't want to ask Beats. Anyways,
Leave
it's about
Beats
that
out.
time. It's about that time, guys. Already.
Wow.
It went by really super quick, huh?
That's crazy.
Yeah, it
by.
has. It flew by.
Thank you to our guests.
Thank you to our guest, Tony Shakur. Please go to her website. Shakir, I know. I don't pronounce things. No, I don't pronounce things sometimes correctly. They'll make fun of me. Tito, stop teasing. But ShakirPublishing.com. Check her out. Check out her story. It's amazing. Get the book. Land of No Pity. It's awesome. We appreciate her calling in. Thanks to you guys for joining me tonight.
You're very welcome.
Big fun as usual.
Big fun, big fun. Until next week, always stand for something or you'll fall for anything. Stay in prayer and keep God first. Peace.
Dexter's Lab.
Yeah. Turn the volume up. Honey closet. I need it. Watch this. Honey. Make money. Give me my honey. Make money. Honey. Make money. Honey closet. Honey closet.
Welcome to thepowerofvoices.com. Welcome. It's Annamarie. A nice evening. I have my guest here. Got a little feedback there, hearing myself. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's up?
Yasmir? Yamzi. I told you.
Yamzi Diamond.
Yamzi Diamond. You got the diamond part right.
Right.
I must have said that 20 times in my mind. Yasmir. Yamzi. What a knucklehead.
It's my mama's name backwards.
No, sir.
Her name was Ismay Diamond.
That's a great name.
Mm-hmm.
And that's wild, though.
Right?
Yeah, this young man is one of 10, which is my last guess. It seems to be 10 is and I mean, I've maybe met a few people other than my grandmother, this generation, that come from 10 siblings.
Right.
Oh, that poor woman. And not only that, but you had, how many brothers?
6 brothers and 3 sisters.
Damn.
I got 57 nieces and nephews. That's at last count. They probably had some last night, so I don't know.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. Like, that must be wild holidays. You got to have some real humor and all that. Because,
Oh yeah, you talking about 7 turkeys?
Oh, that's right. The
Yeah.
holidays must be like cooking fiasco.
4 hams.
4 hams
Yeah.
and a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah.
20
That's
pound
right.
hams.
The Virginia cured ham.
Yeah, man, they don't mess around. Imagine. Wait,
Yeah.
Smithfield is. How many sweet potatoes does it take to feed? I mean, I just can't even imagine.
Oh yeah, it's just a big bag, and then what you do is you make a game out of it with the little ones, and you get them to peel in the potato.
The child labor
You know what I'm
laws don't
saying?
apply, folks. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a game.
Yeah, man, I would imagine that you're gonna have probably more comedians coming out of your family. Because,
Oh yeah,
because you know,
absolutely.
all comedians talk about comedy coming from the real life situations that you guys deal with.
Right.
So I would imagine the stories you must have to tell about life in general. And you also said you're new here to LA.
Yeah, I've been here for about going on 3 years.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
from
kind of
Houston,
new.
Houston, Texas.
Houston, Texas. Houston.
H-Town, stay down.
You knew that, right? You knew that, Lee?
Really?
really?
Where?
Magic 102.
Oh yeah. Oh okay.
That's my
Ooh,
engineer
Sugarland.
Lee
It's
that
nice
you guys
down in
can't see.
Sugarland.
He's like the mystery man behind the board. Just a voice, folks. Just a voice. And I'm trying to hook up my Facebook Live, which is it's like my wonderful co-host Rocky the Comic is actually holding my camera. I'm like fascinated with the fact that we were discussing this in the green room is you coming out to LA and trying to get into the club scene and the open mic scene, which we've talked a lot about that for young comics coming out. They have one mindset, which you said you did, and then when you got here, you might want to touch base on that.
Right. So I had these grandiose dreams
Uh-huh.
that Jamie, the owner of the Laugh Factory, was gonna discover me.
Uh-huh.
And so I had it all played out in my mind. I didn't think that I was going to the first time he saw me, I was going to blow up. But I said, well, I give it, 2-3 months. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I came out here and it took me literally a year to let my nuts hang enough to go to the open mic at the Laugh Factory. I was so afraid to go because this is the world
Right,
famous.
well-
This is the place that Richard Pryor, the first night it opened, Richard Pryor opened it, and Paul Mooney was there. So from a historical point of view, I know it.
So you were intimidated by all that.
Right.
Yeah, right.
And so I finally got the nerve.
With your hanging nuts.
Right. To go to the Laugh Factory and get in line for the following week's open mic.
Now, wait. For people who don't know that, the idea of getting in line for the open mics, you actually, you're in an actual assembly line of comedians. when
Right.
you
You
picked.
get there at like noon.
Wow.
And you stand there all day long. I've been there in the sun, the rain, whatever.
Saying,
the
I'm
cold.
gonna do this, man.
Right.
It's my dream. He waited for this.
And so the first time that I went in line, and then you're in line from like noon to 5. Then you'll have the stragglers that come at like 4:30.
Well, you know,
right?
we the stragglers, because weed is legal here, so you know.
Right, and so then of course it's the first 15 people. So
That's it?
Yeah, and so you can't if you're not there at 2:00, you know, or 3:00 sometimes. It's just depending on the weather conditions. So anyway, I'm in line for next week's open mic. Next week comes, I swear to you, Jamie's girl or his wife is having their first kid.
First kid ever.
Yeah,
So
and
guess
he's
who
never
ain't gonna
been
be there?
He's never been to the open mic since the day. He didn't come that day when she had the baby, and he hadn't been there. And I've been there 18 times in a row, 18 months in a row.
It sounds to me like you should have hung your balls low long before that, yo.
No, that's right.
That's like, but it's true. I mean, that saying, he who hesitates.
Right.
Seriously.
Absolutely.
I mean, to have that burning desire, I mean, that's devastating. And you didn't pack it in and go home then?
No.
Because you were like, I mean, that had to have been discouraging. I mean, at that moment, it was like somebody punched you in the gut.
Well, I didn't know
or
how
in your balls, one or the other.
I didn't know how serious it was at the time. But then after like 6 months passes, then you start hearing stuff like, yeah, he's retired and he's just like chilling with his kid now.
Wow.
And you know, he comes up to the club every now and then, but yeah, the club is on like cruise control now.
So
and you're like, what the?
So who are you at the mercy of? Now it's just about.
Well, I mean, you know, they still have everything in place. And
Are there scouts there?
I don't know. It's just.
It's not what it used to be. There's a lot of things out here that format and the platform is not what it used to be.
Well, what I'm learning is that back in the day in the 70s when the major clubs in LA opened up, you had the owners who were young people. Like Jamie literally opened up the Laugh Factory when he was 16.
No way.
Yes.
Isn't that brilliant?
When he was 16. And so they were sitting in at every open mic and down at the Comedy Store and other clubs. They were there evaluating the comics, trying to make the next Richard Pryor or whoever. George Carlin. They were trying to
find that next brilliant.
But now
light.
those guys are gone.
Right.
And so now what you have at the gates are comedians.
Well, that's
so you literally have haters at the gates now.
Well, you would think if that was true, it's like, nah, he too good. Pass on him. Nah, he looked too pretty. Pass on him. You know?
No, it's just that's just
how it is.
It's just how it is, and you just.
So how does that change your dream?
Well, it pisses you off, and it makes you even more determined.
That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
No, only because, I want to. That's the mind of a comedian. I find that one of the things that I've learned in talking with you guys, and when I ask why would you go back, and it's what they all say. They're more determined if they've had a bad night. Most people, if you're not cut out for this, would be like, nah, rejection. I don't want to take that. But they say they dig in. Yeah. They are so determined, I'm going to get this next time. And that's not your norm. That's,
right.
The comedian's brain is not the norm. It takes, just like a baseball player has certain things about the way he's built, the way his body is, and what he does. And a sport, I think comedians, their brains are wired to do comedy in a way that no one else would understand unless you're a comedian. Because I don't think people could really handle the rejection that you guys do and the struggle that you go through to get there.
It's daily.
Right. Because most people have the impression that, what a great job, get up and be funny. That's got to be the easiest job in the world.
Right.
And
no,
it ain't.
It's Showtime has this show that they have right now that's out. It's called I'm Dying Up Here.
Yeah,
And that's what it literally means. I'm bearing myself. I'm dying up here because you're right on the cusp of. You might be killing, but you're one sentence away from dying. Like if somebody's singing, they'll let you sing a song, and then they'll clap.
We talked about that
at the end of it.
Right, that's your reward.
But
a comedian is judged by every word,
every line.
Mm-hmm. Every line. Yes,
yep.
I'm sorry, I wanted to quote that correctly. But
yeah,
it's true.
Phyllis Diller said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And going back to that time in comedy, like everything's so different now. The saturation is incredible. You've got a lot going on.
Yeah.
And I mean, what keeps you in it?
My family. You
really?
know, my wife is at the point as to where she's saying, "Look, you're our retirement. I got you here."
That I could see that.
Because you mentioned family, don't you? You come from a big family, though, right?
Yeah, I have. It's 10 of us.
Because she mentioned 10, and you're the youngest, right?
Right, the youngest.
What was that like?
Well, my dad was a preacher.
Okay, I can relate.
So, and very, very strict. We didn't have TV growing up. We couldn't play cards.
All I had was the TV. Oh my God.
We couldn't play dominoes. My sisters didn't own a pair of pants. It was
Strict,
it was
man.
at dinner. If you weren't at the dinner table at 5:30, you didn't eat. And
well, I can relate to that. But and I can imagine with your mom with 10 kids.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to do no special anything for anybody.
Right.
Was it like an assembly line though?
Yeah, but it was like before dinner we all had this. My dad had this box, and it was scriptures. So everybody had to pull a scripture out and
cool,
read
though.
it, and then it was literally him praying for like an hour, and you looking at your rolls and your fried chicken.
No.
And,
Whoa, an hour before you even get to eat.
I mean, not literally an hour, but
boy.
you know,
You're
like
hungry.
5
Well, when
minutes.
you're hungry, it feels like
Yeah.
Where's my food?
And in my house,
You peeking one eye open just to see if anybody else looking, just grab a little piece of something.
in my house, if you were eating slow, my mom would be like, he not hungry. Get his food.
Whoa.
So you had to eat
Training
like a
y'all
dog.
to be gladiators.
Yeah.
That's called chow now, folks.
Yeah.
Chow now.
But I remember this one time growing up, I had gotten caught at school. I had told 3 girls that I was going to look under my teacher's dress. Right? And she was like Pamela Anderson before Pamela Anderson.
Oh.
But real.
For real.
Right? So that was back in the day when they had the desk where everything was enclosed and the only space that was open when it was in the middle. So what I did, we were at recess and I crawled under her desk. I left recess before everybody came in.
The preacher's son, folks.
And I went in and I sat under the desk. I was in the 3rd grade. And I was sitting right there at her chair.
Oh, good.
And she had on a mini skirt. And she sat down. And by this time, if the class had come in from playing or whatever, and the lights went on, and kids sat down, and she sat at her desk, and there it was.
Yeah.
There it was.
There was.
Yeah.
Bloomers, I hope.
Oh, panties.
Panties.
Straight
That's right.
panties.
Well, that's right.
They were like white.
Yeah.
No, they had some lace like.
Oh,
yeah.
This is his memory of.
Her name was Miss Swerock.
That's.
She was from Germany.
Whoa.
Was so hot.
Yeah, Europeans are very
And love
into
black
lingerie.
kids.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, that's right too, right?
Yeah.
You.
And so I'm sitting there. I didn't have any kind of contingency plan of like what's gonna happen afterwards. I'm just sitting there like, and now I'm scared, right? So then I see these legs come up to the desk, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I look, and I could see them whispering in her ear.
Oh no, they're throwing you under
And then
the
next
bus.
thing, her legs did like this.
She goes like,
And she looked under the table, under the desk, and she had these. Earlier in the year, my dad had told her, if you having a bad day, if I don't know if something happened at home, just beat him. Just beat him. I don't care. Whatever you do, you can beat him, kick him. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah,
just because he needs it. And so she had these rulers. She had like 8 rulers taped together specifically for me. That was just during the week. Just quit talking so much. And I was the only one she beat in class.
Well, she had that yes.
So this particular day, oh my God, she beat me. Oh,
senseless?
Oh my God.
But was it worth it?
Well, yeah, in hindsight.
Because he's still smiling.
But look.
Yeah, they had lace on him.
So
Pamela Anderson. Go
look,
ahead.
so she, of course, there was one of the few times where a teacher actually came to my house. So she talked to my dad, whatever. I got the killing. So, but then he decided it was something wrong with me. So he was going to spend more time with me, right? So I remember the next day he had this big Fleetwood Cadillac. It was like maroon with a black top.
Ooh.
And he had me in the front seat. And that was before seatbelt laws. So I was like in the front seat. And he said, get my Bible. And then I was like, yes, sir. He was like, turn over there to Matthew 5. I want you to read that. And I was like, well, I can recite it. I don't have to read it. And I was like, and seeing the multitude, he went up into a high mountain. And when he was like, no, read it. So I said, okay. So I turned over. He said, get over there to Matthew 5. So I get over there to Matthew 5. And seeing the multitude, he went up into a high mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, blessed are the poor in spirit. And then I started getting dizzy. Right? I said, Daddy, I'm getting sick. And he was like, what? Read. I said, Dad, I'm getting sick. I can't. And then he said, you got the devil in you.
Oh,
read.
Snap.
So I'm one of those people that cannot read and ride in a car.
Oh, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Sick. Right.
And so I threw up all over his
beautiful Fleetwood Cadillac.
No, his big Bible.
Oh.
So I'm like, it's like the Exorcist in the car. It's like, so now guess what he's doing? He's driving in the car and swearing, and he's bowing me. Because now I'm no longer his son.
He thinks you're the devil.
I'm the devil.
Right.
Literally.
Really.
And he's bowing me in my ribs, in my chest. And so he took me over his friend's house. His name was Brother Franklin. He was like, Doc, this little Negro is possessed. Shit. And he was like, no, Wilson, no. And Franklin was like 400 pounds. He was in the back seat. He said, you not going to believe it, Doc. No, Wilson. No. He said, my daddy got the driving. He said, turn over there to Matthew 5. I said, Dad, please, I can't. He said, read. I got to read. And Brother Franklin was like, that little Negro is possessed.
Nobody even thought about you being car sick.
So look, Sunday at church, my daddy got the whole church. Like he made me come down front, and he made the whole church front to back touch shoulders, all the way up to where everybody's laying hands on me.
Wow.
And he's telling everybody that I got another spirit in me, and they got to pray it out. So I was like, okay, all right, I got the devil in me. So after church was over, it was like 4 women right by the side entrance. Church had let down, and I let some spit come out my mouth, and I was like, hey, you bitches. They was like, oh, Jesus, y'all see, no. I was like, give me some money, bitches. It was like, please. I said, give me all that goddamn money. And they got to go on in their purses.
No way.
I swear, collection went down.
That week. Oh
like
my God.
like for like a month and a half, and I was miraculously cured.
Cured.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I don't know. How old are you?
I don't want to say age is a number.
No,
It ain't nothing but a number.
Wait, no, I meant then. How old when that happened?
Oh,
How
I
old
was
are you?
9.
Man, that has to leave an impression on a 9-year-old. I mean,
Yeah.
it's. I mean, because that's hard shit. So I can understand where comedians go. You get up there and you tell your truth. Do you talk about that on stage at all? About because
I'm getting there. Like I used to get whoopings not to do stuff. Like we would be on the way going to church, and you know back in the day they had like in the back of the car it was a hump,
right,
like a high
yeah,
hump.
where muffler went.
And when I was like 5 and 6, my daddy used to make me stand on that hump and put my face over the front seat so he could slap me.
That's just.
He'd be like, and I'd be like, he say, don't get no holes in your pants after church. Do you hear me? So I used to get whoopings not to do stuff.
Wow.
And then catch a whooping after I did it. I grew immune to whoopings.
Well,
Like-
yeah, I can relate a little bit to that because I was a rebel, and I would literally, if my mother said, I'm going to slap you in the face, I put my face forward.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I remember when
can
I
take
was
it.
15, I was into going to clubs with the grown-ups. I had the fake ID, everything. It'd be like 12 o'clock, and they'd be like, hey, man, we need to get out of here. You know your old man is going to beat the crap. And I'd be like, man, he hit like a bitch, dog. Man, let's go get another drink.
But did the idea, too, where if somebody's telling you got the devil in you, like you said, you ran with that, it's like, I would imagine that you kind of like going, that's right, it's the devil in me.
Yeah.
You know, like Flip Wilson's coin phrase. Yes, Rocky, I want to bring up Flip Wilson again. The devil made me do it.
Yeah, you
That
know,
was
and
his
like
coin
one time
phrase.
my daddy we was talking about God. I was like, Dad, why would God take like a tree and put it somewhere that he created? Then he takes this clay and makes 2 human beings. And then he takes his arch enemy and puts him on the same place as these 2 innocent beings. And then he tell them, don't eat off that tree. Don't eat. You can do anything but eat off that tree. I said, what the hell we got? You going to hell.
Yeah, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
The devil. But it's a legitimate question. I
Right.
have a friend of mine who talks about that, being full of curiosity, being in church and asking a lot of questions. And the preacher was like, you can't come to church no more.
Right.
Because, you know, that kind of thing, children weren't allowed to think outside of what they
No.
were being told.
Mm-mm.
You know, unlike today where, you know, you be in church saying, excuse me, I'm going to Google that.
Exactly.
Priest said that. No. That's not what Google says. Yeah, but that is a strong influence. So when you're saying you don't bring that into your comedy act.
Not yet. You know, like I said, I'm not that person that hates his parents. Like they're deceased. My parents were good people. They did what they thought were right. Like my daddy, to me, is the best man that I've known as far as trying to do the right thing. You know how you have people out there that you look at them and they make you think that they are all that, and then you find out they got all these little hang-ups.
I'm in L.A. You've
Right.
you just described L.A.
But my daddy, man, that man was true to it.
Yeah.
You know, and my mama was too. But my mama was like, my mama let me curse around her and stuff when nobody was around. You know, she'd be like, do what's his name, daddy, when he come home drunk. You know, and I would have her laugh. And like sometimes when wasn't nobody at home, I was like 7, 8, 10. And I'd be like, hey, Mom, I want some bacon. I want to make a, she's, no, dinner's I'm about to cook dinner. I'll be like, bitch, I want some bacon. I'm going to tell your daddy,
No.
bitch, you ain't doing nothing. You going to get your wig split.
Oh, that's
and
so
she
funny.
loved
I love
it.
that. But you think you had a lot of that leeway because you were the baby.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
now that everybody was gone, I mean, because your mother's whole life, I mean, as a mom, I mean, everybody else gone, she was letting go of you. It's difficult because that was her identity,
Yeah.
you know, and she put everything probably into that.
Yep.
And it sounded like if you guys had those restrictions, she probably grew up. She probably lived that with your dad too.
Yeah.
Living within that Bible belt,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is, you know, kind
I
of.
can remember my daddy rehearsing his sermons with my mom during the week, like at night. And she would be in the bed, and she would be sitting up with the pillows behind, and he'd be in front of the bed going back and forth. And God said, he was one of them fiery preachers. And she would be dozing off because you could hear, Hope, don't do that. Wake up, Hope. Wake up. Listen to me.
Fire and brimstone,
Yeah.
and she's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have to be. So did you do comedy in Houston?
Yeah.
And what type clubs? Was it the same format where you had open mic nights?
Yeah.
And
they didn't like me in Houston. I would get up, like I would go in River Oaks. Because in Houston, the comedy scene is basically non-existent. It's for comics that are up and coming. They have comedy clubs that are professional where the acts come in town. But as far as nurturing a
fresh new comedian,
it was like one or two clubs. So there was this club in River Oaks called a Laugh Stop. And I used to go. I remember the first night that I went up, I killed it. Like people were it was like the Muppet Show in there, right? And so after it was over with, they presented me with an ashtray. And they said they had only done that 2 times at that club. And that club had been open for like 20 years.
Wow.
Right? And then from then on, I got treated like shit.
The ashtray was a kiss of death.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they say if you can come out to L.A. and make a name for yourself, you can go home and eat.
Yeah.
You know, that the idea of that being L.A. is a real hard town to make it in because there is politics. There is also, I would have to say, 1 billion comedians out here that come just like you do, trying to break into the industry. And a lot of the comedians I've spoken to have basically said, you got to have a plan. Now you're a chef.
Yeah, but that's just at home.
Wait.
I'm in a really unique situation.
Explain.
Because I got my wife. And my wife is like said, like I used to work for Honda, right? For a long time selling cars. And so like I could easily go up. I was in top sales. I could easily go to Honda and just, they'll be like, when. But my wife will not let me work.
The sacrifice is made. Yeah, she really believes in your cause.
And you know, my wife has been doing the same kind of work for like 15 years, and it's the kind of work where you can basically go anywhere.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you know, she's a district manager in property management. And so when it came, like, coming to L.A., it's, like, hard to find housing, right? But with my wife, it was just like...
Boom. Yeah, I actually got a job offer to do that, and they give you a place to live.
Right.
And
But we pay something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Percentage.
Right. But as far as that, like, I'm in a unique situation, and it's like my wife is just like, don't stop. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
it's not.
That's really encouraging because it's usually, I mean, it's really hard on a family. I mean, I look at these guys that are in the industry that, you know, don't have families.
Right.
And chasing that hustle. And then there's a lot of comedians that have family.
Right.
I actually talked to a woman who does not bring her children into her bio or talks about them on stage because of certain things that she feels it's best to keep that separate.
Right.
For whatever reason, if you're doing political humor, that can be a risk that you take, because even though it's humor and it's comedy, you take a risk being up on that stage
Absolutely.
and saying something. One, like you said, you don't know what that audience is going to react to, and it's a very ugly climate that can happen.
Right.
And the comedy is the truth, with
Absolutely.
that bit of sarcasm. Are you a comedian that can go out into the audience and play with the audience a little bit?
No.
Okay, because I know that's a rule. Like, unless you know what you're doing, don't do that.
Well, it's not that. It's just that my stuff is timed. Like I write and I don't come off the cuff.
Wait, where do you do your writing? I love to know
write
with
at
the
home.
comedians. You write at home.
Yeah.
Do you have music playing? Are you like? Is it the stuff?
I don't write like. There's this great misconception out here that people write. I might write something once a week. You know what I'm saying? But when it hits you, it's like you stop whatever you're doing and you write, and then you transfer to like Google Docs or whatever. But yeah.
No, I don't know what that. What is Google Google Documents? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like I went to a Dodger game on Friday and with my family, and it was just like we got there and there's this long line. We were getting food, and so we decided before that we're gonna, my son's going back to school, my daughter's about to start college. We're going to take them to a Dodger game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So we got to the game, and we're in line, and we get the food, and I'm looking up at the prices, and I literally start shaking. Like $6 for a bag of peanuts?
Yep.
Huh?
Well, yeah.
No, nachos.
Nachos, right.
No meat.
No meat, yeah.
$6.
Yep.
Like it was, they just literally give you a bag of chips with a little hole with some cheese in it.
And water's $4 to $5 for a
$5.
$5 for a bottle of water.
Dasani.
Yeah.
Like we spent $61 on food,
which was
and it was $4 worth of food.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a lot of
like
the
that
baseball
shit
fields.
set me back like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like I don't see no Thanksgiving. No turkey, nothing. No Christmas.
No, I got you. But that's the demise of. There's humor in that.
No, and I was seeing these people. I was looking at and like my son, like we ate in like the second inning and like the sixth inning. My son, who has no concept of money,
right?
He was like, "Hey, Dad." I was like, "Yeah." He was like, let me get a hot dog and another soda." And I was like, okay, we'll do it. Let me just lay something down. Hell no. I was like, now here's what you can pick. You can pick this hot dog and a soda, or you can pick electricity at home. How about that, partner? He was like, huh?
Uh-huh.
But it was people. I saw this Hispanic family. They were sitting like 2 rows down. And it was like 9 of them. It was like the mom, the dad. It was like kids. And they were eating like Vikings. Like, they were eating.
Vikings. Yeah.
It looked like a buzzsaw down there eating popcorn. They were eating popcorn with 2 hands. And they were like, they had a conveyor belt of food coming, just steady coming. And he was giving his credit card to the kids. I was scared. They was leaving. The little girl left. The 5-year-old left. Come back, just dropping food. I'm just, oh.
Did you say to your kid, go down there, just fake the Spanish. He won't know. He got so many kids.
Yeah, go sit with them.
Go blend, right? Go blend, yeah.
Right?
I mean that you sitting there with food envy, okay?
Man, we ain't never going back to see the dog.
No,
and so I told my wife, I was like, yeah, see, we up here tonight, like we could smell jet fuel, and we damn near, I could reach up and touch a jet wheel. We were literally 2 rows, and that was it.
That yeah.
At the top.
And tickets are still like ridiculous, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said, this is just for me to say this part of my story, because in a year or so, I'm going to be down there with Magic and Cookie.
There you go. I like that enthusiasm. You have to have that.
Right.
And maintain that. And I mean, that's something that you find that when I talk to a lot of the comedians, it's all or nothing.
Oh yeah.
Nobody came here. You know, I used to have a friend, Jersey Jane, and she used to say, "I didn't come here to fail, Annamarie. I didn't come here to fail." And you get that sense of when you talk to anyone in any industry, be it acting or be it whatever, they're aware of the odds.
Absolutely.
But who is anyone to tell them that they're not going to be the one? That hard work, that
Yep.
dedication, that drive, and it's a lot of networking.
Right.
And you have to have the ability to be likable. You have to have the ability to be memorable and doing the dance. I mean, me personally, to go out to the clubs and when you're standing in the green room and you take a look around you, you have to. To me, I'm surrounded by brilliance. I've not met a comedian that I don't have the utmost respect for. I mean, you guys, for what you, like I said, that mindset.
Right.
You know, and a lot of people say, as far as doing anything out in LA, you got to have a plan and you got to be tougher than you've ever been in your life to maintain that drive.
Right.
Because at any moment, like some of the guys that have been doing it 20-something years, when you talk to someone doing it 8 years, you're like, oh, you kid you. And most people don't do anything in their lives with that dedication in any other walk of life.
Right.
And it's something that, when did you first realize that you wanted to be a comedian?
Well, when I was in college, I used to, on Friday nights, they had the administration building. And so on Friday nights, I would just end up, and I would have an audience of like 6, just from me talking, and students would start coming around. And then it got to where I would have like 65 and 70 people, and I would be just up talking about my childhood. And then people would be laughing. They would always say, you supposed to be, you could be Eddie Murphy, you could be Richard, right? But I never took it seriously. And
you also know, being out here, it is more than that.
Yeah. But I'm talking about a long time ago. But I remember my first time, a friend of mine, or I like to call him now, pretend friend, he got me on open mic at the Addison Improv in Addison, Texas. And so the day of, I was like, you don't believe in me, and one day I want to be a comedian. And he was like, okay. He made a call, and that night he was like, you going up. And I was like, huh? So that day, I proceeded to drink all day. And by the time he picked me up,
you were useless.
Oh my God. But I was like, it's different stages of being drunk. I was at that stage where you right at the peak, where you just talking shit and yeah. I got to the club and I proceeded to drink some more. And when I got called on stage, he had invited all of my college friends.
Oh, spank, yeah.
And the Addison Improv is north of Dallas. I went to college in Dallas. So the club was packed that night. And I didn't find out till afterwards that all of my college friends that lived in Dallas, because these are the people I used to tell my stories to. You see what I'm saying? And I got up there and proceeded to dance.
Oh, get out. You're shot and you start dancing?
Yeah. And I got booed.
Can't imagine how that happened.
Yeah. And so, 2 years later, I saved up enough money. You ever heard of Judy Carter?
Yes.
So the lady that wrote the Comedy Bible?
Yes. That's actually a book somebody had told me to get.
Yeah, well,
that's funny you should bring that up.
I flew out to Los Angeles 17 weekends in a row to attend her school.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's dedication.
And I did good. She had us gigs at the Ice House and a couple of other clubs. Yeah. And I did good. I mean, the last show, I was the last. It was like 12 comedians in her class. The other ones punked out. But then what it was is I was number 11. And then the 12th one was a real professional.
Oh, wow.
So, she was like, kid, you got it. You just got to believe in yourself.
To go out and do that.
Yeah, and that was 2005.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what is it that, you say about going to school or doing that, taking classes. A lot of comedians take improv.
Right.
And learning how to, is it basically learning how to write a joke, to execute a joke, the timing, stage presence? Is it all those things?
Right. It's like the first day of class, she just had us to get on stage, and then she cut all the lights on. And then, you're doing this and squint. She was like,
Right. How to
you
stand.
can't do that.
Right.
It's just, preparing, believing in yourself, joke structure,
Which is, a lot of people that you watch. I watch comedians now with a whole different set of eyes, and I watch how they stand. I watch how they address the audience. I listen for that pause,
and that's the key
knowing
to
that
everything.
timing.
Yeah.
That's real important, because if you don't time that correctly, your joke is going to be missed. And also how you have the beginning, middle, and the end, and how you have to segue and you have to sew it all up.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And you learn that there's such an art to that.
Right.
Rather than, just getting up and people think it's just, tell a funny story with no structure. You're not going to.
And so what it is that you need time on stage.
Yeah, that's what they keep saying. Keep getting up.
You need like 3 minutes. None of my sets are 3 minutes. And you got 3 minutes at open mic. So you got to come in and you got to cut your stuff in half. And it's just that I just cannot get.
Well, they do a 5 minute. In also there is a
there's some places you can go to that's
7
no name and get some time or whatever. But I'm at that point in my life where I'm not going to no hole in the wall. I believe in myself. What I'm trying to do right now is get a whole hour.
Wow.
I want to go straight to headline. Because I ain't nobody gonna let me come before them. They not.
No. And the idea is just so in doing the open mic nights, I've seen some pretty big names in some really small clubs working their material and perfecting it. And in fact, before knowing what I know, I used to say, damn, why does this guy say tells the same joke every week?
Yeah.
And then you see them out in the big stage and it comes together and it's a magic you can't, you guys talk about when that magic happens. That zone.
A joke is like a song. You want to make it a hit and you just keep doing it. You keep doing it. Keep doing it. And it's just, you start filling in this and filling in that. And you just, next thing you know, you got a tight set, but you gotta have time.
Is there anyone that you've seen while you've been out that you really enjoy as far as the club scene here?
There's this cat named Ron G.
Yes, Ron. Yes, I know he's.
I love Ron G.
Yeah, very, very,
I
very
think
talented.
He's the next batter up.
Yeah, everybody's talking. He's quite a buzzword, wouldn't you say? My friend over there.
Yeah.
Rocky, you gonna step up to the mic? No. All right, we got. There's an awful lot of comedians when you go out that, like you said, talking about performing in front of other comedians. Mm-hmm. Because when you go on open mic night, there's always a house full of comedians there.
Right.
And you guys are a pretty close knit family.
No, we're not.
No, we're not.
We can't
not
stand each other.
No, come on.
We all hate each other. And I'm from the school of thought is that if you had an open mic,
yeah,
and it's 99.9% all comedians. If you had an open mic and they all laughing, they laughing at you.
Uh-huh.
But how you know you got something is when it's crickets.
Now, really, how could I would think that would make you like so uncomfortable on stage.
It's like I'm slaying you hoes. That's what it is. That's the mentality you have to have. You have to think like you a ant crawling up a giraffe's ass thinking rape. That's what you got to think. Huh? I'm about to rape this giraffe and you this big.
That's quite a script.
Yeah.
If I have dreams tonight about being a giraffe and ants coming after me, I'm going to call you and say, man, I'm going to be puking on a Bible later.
Yeah.
That's just insane.
Yeah.
But you have this ability to, I would have to say, forge through all that. And, I mean, is L.A. the only place that you work in the clubs, or do you travel outside of L.A.?
No, L.A. is it.
Right. Is there a big difference as to that being, like you said, the comedy club's difference as far as Houston goes? And you've only done Houston and L.A., right?
Yes.
Right.
And Dallas.
Yeah. What about the East Coast? Have you gotten a flavor from any of that?
I know you can tell different. I've never gone out. I mean, I've gone out there, but not for comedy. But you can tell East Coast comedian. Like I can tell a guy from Mid-America. They're more bada boom, bada bing. It's like, and they have many subjects that they talk about. Like, and they, you know what I'm saying? And they'll say, give me a round of applause with people that do this. And you know what that's people from the South, we tell stories.
Okay.
We don't, people from the East Coast, Upper East, they write the joke. They got a setup, you know, and then a punchline. See what I'm saying? And in L.A., they tell stories too, but they're a little more radical. I'm talking like black comics. They're gonna have a, you know.
Well, black comics do talk a lot. Family is big, and a lot of comedians do bring up, you know, their mama has a lot,
right?
You know, or their grandmother,
right?
And growing up in that environment, I mean, the jokes that most people tell are what they know. It's from what you know, as I've said. The East Coast comedy, you know, seeing an East Coast comedian, some of them that come to mind. I mean, I don't know if you have a preference to a comedian that's popular today in the general media rather than just saying in the clubs. That, you know, you said Richard Pryor was someone that you admired comedy-wise.
Yeah, but I would say the comedian that I really, like when I was in my 20s and early 30s, it was D.L. Hughley. The old D.L. The Kings of Comedy D.L. Not this D.L. that wants you to see how smart he is and how articulate he is and you know that's and I you know that's cool. He feels like he's got a calling on him to speak on what's going on socially. That's fine, but I'm talking about strictly from a comedy point of view. That the one where he talks about his grandmother's house, and you know, come on back with me. You know, she had that grease can, and you know, sitting on the stove with all the different kind of greases in it. She had a little ketchup in the ketchup box, put some water in there and shook it. You know what I'm saying? Get all the ketchup out. That's the stuff where I literally lost my breath. I, you know, just could not. I had to cover my ears up so I could stop laughing.
It was that. Well, I would think it would resonate with you coming from your background,
right? And it just it just hit home. I was like, I can do this. I can do it, and it you know. And I've been on that voyage.
Do you pay attention to like those things? Like once you were taught what to look for, and when you look at comedians. Do you like kind of find yourself critiquing them? You know, like you said, you have to deal with that being that there's crickets in the room. That might mean people are really studying, listening. You know, that kind of thing that you do when you watch.
No, you hear like they come up to you, especially like I like white girls. You know what I'm saying? Because they like all the other comedians, black comedians, black women, black guys, white boys, whatever. They, you know, they look at you like they OD'd on lemon juice, right? But the white girls, they'll be like, "What's your story?" I'll be like, what you doing here?
Really?
Like what kind of habits you got? Cause you, come on.
Yeah,
Cause you good.
What kind of habit you got? I like that.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is the ability to pay homage where it's due.
Right. And so, and I get that, not from all, but it'll be 2 or 3. They'll be like, "Oh, you got
what would
that
you
far."
say? What was one of your best nights that you had at what club?
I used to really do good at the Improv until they just start like that. I would just. I mean, you would have it. I mean, I was really doing good, and then the host of the club, every time I go up, he say something negative, and every time I'm the only one, he say something negative, and then it got to where his boys, they started bumping into me and stepping on my shoes, and then you feel like, okay, something can happen here, so I stopped going because something happens at a club, police get called out, it's white guys, and you might have a split wig already that the guys gave you, but when the police show up, you might have a halo over your head and wings busting out your back.
That's frightening. I mean, but that's frightening. I mean, that's something that
so it's the intimidation that goes along with it. And the first priority with me is getting back home to my family. Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing as serious as that. So, you out late at night, you walking to your car alone after the club. Because on Sunday nights, Improv 1:30.
Right.
Open mics over at like 1:15, 1:30. So then you get the looks and you kind of hurrying up, scaring down the street to get to your car.
Well, no, I can relate as a woman.
Right.
There's nights in saying, going to the clubs, like I love Rocky, and being my co-host, Rocky's got an incredible sense of history that I don't have. I would never claim to.
Right.
And being able to bring that, also, Rocky has a lot of familiarity with the comedians and a lot of respect from the comedians. As a woman, I don't want to go to the clubs. There's a few clubs in the area that they're in. It's a little frightening. So how are you going to have people find you then?
I've made it. I'm like, okay, so I told you tonight, we were talking earlier in the green room, and I was telling you about how the Laugh Factory is once a month.
Okay.
Right?
So what night you going to be there?
No.
No?
So guess what?
What?
They've made it to where they're going to have open mic every week starting Tuesday, and you don't have to wait a month.
Oh, wow.
So every week, you're going to start Monday the 22nd. You're going to be able to stand in line, and they're going to pick the first 10 comics, and guess what? Big Daddy going to be
in that line.
Big Daddy going to be there at 11 o'clock.
Waiting.
Because I can do that.
From 11 o'clock to what?
5.
11 o'clock. Now, you got to light up your social media.
Yeah.
You got people following you where? Because as we come to a close, you got your Instagram?
Yeah, I got 37,000 followers on Instagram.
That ain't no joke, folks.
Yeah, that's from cooking. I got people from all over the world.
They
just
amazing.
recognize good food.
And that's amazing.
And ain't nothing funny on my page because I ain't that kind of person that gonna be cracking jokes and putting up stupid stuff. I'm like a philosopher. I'm searching for something. You know what I'm saying? And so I try to be a little funny on stage.
You can take over my idea that you would be the perfect hot shit chef.
Right? No, it's just something that I do for my family, and maybe one day I'll get to cook you a meal.
I like that idea.
I like cooking in intimate settings. I don't like cooking for 20 people, 50 people, because they don't appreciate it.
Well, I'll tell you what, Yamzi, I'm really glad to have met you. I wish you the best as you're out there.
Thank you so much.
And you guys look for him. I mean, they open mic night. As he said, they're going to be running that at the Laugh Factory. Get your ass in line.
Right.
Let your balls hang low.
That's right.
That's right. And get there. Thank you so much, Lee. Again, next week we got another guest coming on. I'm hoping to really put this in. I look forward to seeing you out there. Thank you so much.
Thank
We'll
you.
see you guys next week. Thank you so much, Rocky, for doing all that backdrop tech.